None of our guys are any good at golf, but we're at the Memorial anyway.
Sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling and Orthopedic One. The Fan.
Hello, friends. You're now listening to the lifestyle, leisure, and sports show you never knew was two of those things.
I think we can all acknowledge that if this fails, you two will be fired and I will remain. So, no pressure.
Bo Bishop, a regional media icon, winner of Emmys, purveyor of the good life.
Sir, you don't know that for a fact.
I just said it on the radio.
Also, two guys this company named Employee of the Month.
What are you talking about?
Paul Hogan is Hulk Hogan's brother. Look it up.
Because it's Hulk Hogan. That's his real name.
One guy is from Australia. The other one is from Tampa.
You mean he's from Hollywood, brother?
Not brothers. Chops.
Yes, they are.
This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, let's do it live on a Thursday edition, friends. Bo and Reese with you for the next three. Paul Feinbaum up at 10:33. We come to you humbly from Jack's Place, Muirfield Village. Day one of the Memorial Tournament is underway. The official start of summer in Central Ohio is here. It's a week later than we normally would have it, but we'll take it either way. It is special every time you walk in the gates. My heart warms when I see these familiar faces in the media center or at the gates that I've seen for almost 20 years now come to this place. It's like old home week for me, and I think it is for many of you and many of us in Central Ohio. Yesterday on the show, and we're bringing back one of the most esteemed caddies this place has ever seen.
The mayor of Muirfield.
He is. And he, by the way, I asked for some breakfast sandwiches, and we got a breakfast wrap.
I think we delivered, didn't we?
Yep. You did 3 hours of radio. I'm not going to make you do a whole lot more, but just a couple.
So two and a half.
So
we got Dom on at 9:30.
So that'll take us to noon. So yesterday on the show, we were talking about the Pro-Am. And the Pratt, Manning, Rory, Day, who was the fourth? Gonzo, who you guys had on, who was great. And I said, I wonder, like, if you're a caddy, what is your back of your head expectation on what that tip looks like with that foursome?
Pretty good. Sorry.
So I go
jump the show.
Sorry. So I go to him and I go. Reese goes $50.
Well, I first thought he said golf tips. And then he said no monetary, and I'm like $50.
$50.
Because I don't know if these guys are carrying cash on them.
If a member,
I don't know.
If a member handed you $50 after carrying the bag for 18, what's your level of disappointment?
Well, the going rate is 75. So the normal rate is 75, and that was 10 years ago.
So David,
it's probably up to 100.
David
now.
Babner, who you know well,
sweet house,
fantastic house, runs the Columbus Marathon, one of the all-time great men about town. He texted the show yesterday and said 120 is the going rate now.
Okay,
so that's where you're
that
at.
Sounds pretty good.
That's where you're at.
That's for a double bag, so that's 240 on the day.
Yeah, so
that's without tip.
It's okay. Yeah. So in that sense, what is the number that you think in the back of your head when you get handed that group specifically
on this day? So the way that it usually works for like outings is that you will get, and so it's probably it's a one bag situation per caddy, right? Like they're not double bagging out here.
And I would assume that Rory's caddy's caddying for him.
Yeah, correct. And so then J-Day, when he pops into the back nine, he's got his own caddy. So it's really, just three. There's going to be three caddies out. That's the marquee group. So traditionally, you would get paid already like your normal fee just by the clubhouse for whatever.
Yeah.
And so everything else is gravy. You'd be disappointed if it wasn't a couple of Benjis, at least.
So, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this. I think, honestly, in that group, you're talking about a guy who fronts Guardians of the Galaxy, Jurassic Park, Manning, Gonzo.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be 500.
I think you could probably get into that realm.
Yeah. That's what my thinking was, because I think you don't.
$50. Eric.
In my not-so-great defense, I've only ever golfed 9 holes. I've never golfed with a caddy, and my sobriety's been questionable every time out.
No, you did it right.
I live differently than you guys who, hobnob with
Hey, man, I put out my years out here, boots on the ground, all right?
Right over there?
Yeah, right at the range house.
We are different, clearly.
But I thought that was just great, that Reese's number was 50. That would have been
that's low.
10 times.
President Grant, I'll take it.
The other thing that this is the trial of Reese, by the way, to start the show. You're going to be guilty on all accounts. The other thing that you were surprised of is
Peter Dinklage here.
You were surprised. No trial by combat. I'm not fighting beam. And if I did, I would finish
Dan
the
would
job.
be my champion.
I would finish the job. I wouldn't parade around and prance around halfway done. But we also talked about, and you said, will those guys have any cash on them? Oh yeah.
You'll prepare yourselves.
Okay.
I would think. You tell me if this is fair. I would think that group, because they're going to have some side games. I would think
a lot
of side games. I would think that group would have somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000 cash at the ready.
Just in the back pocket.
per guy.
Per guy.
Yeah.
Like
because you're going to have
Star-Lord's got $1,000 on him.
at least in cash.
Mm-hmm.
This is, and I was saying this is the only place, the golf course is the only place that I need cash now in life.
Correct.
So I can tip the bag kids and I can tip the people. You want to be, you don't ever want to not tip those people. But I thought between $1,000 and $2,000 bucks. You're gonna have side games.
Must be nice.
I've seen a lot of side games happen out here.
Yeah.
To the tune of a lot more than that.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
A lot more than that.
You know, the one thing too, though, is a lot of times, and I've seen this too. Like a lot of ultra wealthy people won't play for a ton of cash because it's not about that. Like I've been around people who are ultra successful who have done the side games, and sometimes they're playing like $2 a hole.
Yeah, or five or 10, like front 9, back 9 overall.
Right.
Yeah,
but it's just because it's the game. It's something.
Because if anything is on the line, it's the same as whether it's $10,000 a hole or $5 a side.
That's right. Well, thank you.
Hey,
great radio show. Listen,
I love you.
Loved you. You know
love
I
you
love
too, Reese. Even though you were
a pleasure.
you were wildly wrong.
It's a pleasure.
This is a trial of Reese.
Yeah, you guys have a great
I apologize to nothing. For no one.
Hey, look at the weather we doctor up for you when you come down.
It was stunning. It's stunning. I mean, it poured. Last night poured. And I was looking at the extended and thinking, like, God, they move it a week and we're still going to get buried in rain. And then all of a sudden it looks like it's going to be kind of money. Like tomorrow could be insane.
High
like 70s?
Kidding me?
Are you kidding me out here? I mean, that's walking around with a lot of transfusions. That's living a good life. That is a good...
Especially careful with those today.
That pavilion on 18 is going to be nice tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. We've had a lot of people have asked, like, if first time out, how to handle it. I had a guy email us yesterday asking, he had a pregnant wife and saying, like, how would you recommend it? And where are places where I can see a lot of things? And it's funny, the more I thought about it and all the times I've been around here, it's really, to me, it felt like 9 is pretty good. Mm-hmm. Obviously, 14's great. 16's great now. And I was thinking, can you get behind 11 to a point where you could see approaches to 11 and 12, or are the trees still permit that?
You can't. I mean, you could probably get on the other side, and maybe I'll do a reconnaissance mission. Maybe I'll go down there.
Yeah.
You could get to like 11 green and then see 12 green. Yeah, you could do that.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you could get down there.
That's a hike.
That is a hike. That's like one of the furthest places away on the golf course.
From
that
here.
And then 5 and 6. Well, 6 and 7 on the front side.
Right.
It's a hike.
But the problem we were saying yesterday, too, Reese, is the problem with you go to the front side.
You're stuck.
You're stuck there.
You can't cut through.
Especially
anywhere.
if you've got someone who's walking for 2.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be in your best, or I guess their best interest, which then is your best interest to do that.
No.
So, centrally here for the best for everyone's experience.
Yeah. You went out already, right?
I took
you
a lap.
Walked out?
Yep.
You took a lap out there?
I'm out of shape.
You had something happen to that first group out there.
So this was Davis Thompson.
A little lesson
with
for the kids.
Maxwell Moldovan. He was the OSU
legend.
player playing, or at least teeing off from 1, because that's what everybody's doing today. But someone's cell phone went off mid-swing for poor Davis Thompson. I mean, this is a cell phone ringtone, so...
We're doing that in 2024?
Nope.
We're doing that? We're doing cell phone ringtones in 2024?
It's an anomaly.
Aren't you vibrating?
But you get a little bit of everything
silent?
out here. Yes, I would think. I don't know anybody who still has their ringtone.
When is the last time you had a ringtone? There's the man right there, the great Dan Sullivan.
My cell phone is my alarm.
Love that guy.
So I have the ringer for that, but that's to wake me up in the morning.
Oh, perfect.
But outside of that, I'm not bringing it out in public.
I just want to. The great Dan Sullivan is here. Great to see you, sir. Great to see you. Here, throw that on 2 seconds. I just got to say. So it poured last night.
1.7 inches.
I knew he'd have it. And yet, all of a sudden, buddy, Bluebird, and tomorrow looks sensational.
Yes. So I'd call it talent and technology has this golf course ready to go.
It is, man.
And a lot of people worked really hard, and the technology we have under the greens, taking all the moisture out, it's going to be really good.
It looks stunning walking in. Yeah. It looks absolutely stunning. We'll talk to you later, Date. I know you're walking by, but that's Executive Director of the Memorial Tournament, the great Dan Sullivan, walking by. That's what you get here, Reese.
Oh, yeah. Just walking by.
You walk by, you get some people. The one that always hit me, and at this vantage point you see this a lot, is you'll see the Golden Bear.
Early in the morning, and I don't know if he did it this year, but last year I saw him driving his own cart.
Yeah.
I said, well, yeah, that sounds about right.
That's
Mr.
right.
Nicholas, can we drive you? No.
No, I'm good. I'm
taking
fine.
my own cart.
I'm going to drive my own cart. So the image ingrained in my brain is I played me and Dom and Paul Spahn and Jack Nicklaus Jr. played. That was my foursome.
Was that your first time playing the course?
It was not my first time, but it was one of those things, and I've lamented how poorly I play this sport, and I was feeling pretty good. And then I'll just tell you, it's a little different tone when you're playing with a Nicklaus. There's
I can imagine.
A little bit different tone. So there was some tremendous nerves with that. But I do remember Jack driving over to talk to his son and thinking, well, I definitely don't want to hit with the Golden Bear watching.
Yeah, at that point, do you step back and think,
that.
I'm not going to hit right now. We can just let somebody else go.
So we were on 10T, and he was, what are you going to do? We had to go. We had to keep pace. So I pulled a driver, and I hit it as far right as you can humanly hit a driver, and you could hear it. Now, when you guys, if you're coming out, if you go to 10T and look to the right, just in your mind, wrap your head around how far right that is. It hit a house, and Jack goes, well, I don't think I've ever seen anyone hit it there.
There, you gave him something new. You gave him something new.
New experience.
Because I wondered
for the Golden Bear.
Is if
you couldn't hit it there if you tried.
No, in 1,000 tries.
Not like anyone would.
You're doing that right. Nobody's aiming for it.
Yeah.
But I wondered, as he's pulling up in his cart, do you want to be bad or slow?
You just want to be quick.
Sin, right? Get it over with.
Here's the thing and this is what I would say, having had to play with some absurdly good players through the years at various outings that I've had to do. I didn't start playing this game until I was in my 30s, and the only reason I did is because my wife's father loves it.
Right,
so that's how it got into it. Was that way.
Okay.
And I love the idea of it about as much as anything.
Yeah.
The walk in nature.
That's it for me here this week.
Yeah.
Less so the actual playing.
The idea, I love it, and I love it with the boys. I try to play once a week with them. The fact that they're all going to be better than me, and NBC will beat me this summer. They have. NBC came early on. It's a tough one though because I get here so early, and then, that's kind of part of it too. But anyway, so what I would say is, if you are someone who is not great and you're playing with people who are, be quick.
Yeah.
Just be fast. They don't care. Most great players, they don't care what you're doing. They're not worried about how you hit it. They're not paying attention to it. They're doing their own thing. Just be quick. That's it.
Have you, in the years since that first round, or since that round you played with Jack Jr., have you been able to talk to him about it? And if you asked him, did he go, I don't remember that at all?
Well, when we used not. Because
I wonder with how many times he's played this, how many foursomes he's had, if he can,
No way.
Right, he knows every blade of grass on this course, but thousands of times he's walked it and played it.
No, I wouldn't think he'd have any recollection. I wouldn't think it was that bad.
Now, the person who owns the house, I wonder if they remember that shot.
Well, they had to say, well, in all the years we've lived here, much like Jack,
once.
That's only happened once. It's a long ways right. I'll just tell you that. If you get out here at the Memorial Term, if you're making your way out there, just do yourself a favor and take a look and just see how far right that is, because it's a long damn ways. I'll tell you that. We'll keep you updated on the Memorial Tournament over the course of the next 3 hours. Paul Feinbaum going to join us coming up at 10:33. Your emails at 10 o'clock, a little higher or lower as well. We are off and running day one of the Memorial Tournament, Muirfield Village, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Roof leaks can mean expensive repairs unless you work fast. Legacy Roofing, the leader in Central Ohio commercial roofing, can repair, replace, and maintain your roof to avoid costly damage. At Legacy, we're famous for fast, reliable, safe, and permanent protection for your roof. Our technicians are skilled craftsmen trained by industry leaders like Carlisle, Versico, and Elevate to create lasting roofing systems to protect your investment. Call Legacy Roofing Services today, 800-880-ROOF, 800-880-ROOF. Legacy Roofing Services.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Score a goal with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the checking account that rewards you for supporting the crew. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, official credit union of the Columbus Crew, federally insured by NCUA.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and the playoff action is here. And there isn't a more rewarding sportsbook in the game than Tipico. Get ready to bet on the biggest games of the year, the playoff basketball, the hockey, the actions every night. You want to make the most of every game? You've got to bet with Tipico. You'll get up to 5% cash back on your bets. Claim your new sign-up bonus now and get $150 in protected bets when you deposit $100. Sign up now. Enter the promo code TheFan150 to get your bonus. Download the Tipico Sportsbook app today. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions do apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Whether you're popping the question or ready to say I do, there's only one true jeweler to shop for your one true love. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. As a true jeweler, we not only have luxury designer collections to meet your bridal needs, but we also have talented in-house designers who can create something truly one of a kind. For more than 75 years, our expert staff has been caring for couples just like you and providing the absolute lowest prices guaranteed. Visit the Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road or Easton Town Center. The possibilities are endless.
The Fan is your home for the Dallas Cowboys.
No, we're not. You can't say that. Take two.
The Fan is your home of the Buckeyes. Yes, that's right. Same thing, but more playoff success. Now give Big Voice Guy another brandy. Thank you. The Fan.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The Sign and Drive Green Tag event continues, offering 0% for 84 months with no money down on a John Deere compact utility tractor with loader. Limited time offer. Visit your local Ag Pro today or go online to agproco.com for more information.
More and more people are falling into problem gambling. Mary Haven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, look for partly to mostly sunny skies, highs in the upper 70s. Tonight, we're going to drop down to the 60s. It should be dry. And then as we head into tomorrow, we're going to be looking at mostly sunny skies, high temperatures in the middle 70s. That's a look at your latest forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Tipico Sportsbook is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Bishop & Friends. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Our top men are working on everything. except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is, and broadcasting out here at Muirfield Village in Dublin. Day one of the Memorial Tournament is underway. It is your Uncle Bo here, and I want you to picture this. Cannonballs into the lake, s'mores at the fire pit, sleeping under the stars. It's all wins, and it could be you when you visit my friends at RCD RV. RCD right now is having their summer open house, and you simply don't want to miss it. Huge RV savings all month long in June. New travel trailers as low as $14,995. The area's widest selection, 600 new and pre-owned RVs in stock. Start your summer adventure at RCD RV. Visit one of 3 Central Ohio locations or online anytime at rcdrv.com. I'm always careful with hyperbole. I try to be careful with hyperbole.
Oh, no, crank it out, brother.
Oftentimes
Let's
it'll
do
run
it.
amok for me. But one of the strangest 24-hour periods in sports reporting that I can recall. So yesterday, Shams Charania, there are 2 guys on the NBA beat. Shams Charania and Adrian Wojnarowski. Shams was his protege at Yahoo. They were both at Yahoo. They worked together at Yahoo. And then Woj turned down ESPN forever and then eventually went. And so he's been at ESPN since. Shams went to Yahoo. Now I think Shams is at Athletic, is the platform. So yesterday, and it's a 2-man fight. They fight for content, and there's nobody else even in the beat. Like, it's a 2-man beat.
Nobody's close.
There's nobody else close.
And it's like seconds between. Either one has the breaking news, and then seconds later someone confirms it.
And they're typically reporting the same things. So yesterday, and we talked about this a little bit on the show, Shams Charania reported that the Lakers were hiring J.J. Redick to be their head basketball coach. And we talked about it. I said, well, look, it makes sense. He's a smart guy. He played in the league for a long time. In the NBA, there's a ton of examples of guys who went straight from playing or the broadcast straight into coaching. This isn't new. I mean, it happens all the time. There's a ton of examples of it. He's obviously got a great basketball acumen. LeBron James respects him. He does a podcast with him. Feels like he could be a leader of men. Like, all of those boxes check, right? Okay, fine. So this morning, as I'm making my way, I'm hearing it was Bomb and Beam, and they're like, well, actually, it's going to be Dan Hurley. And I luckily I got the autopilot, so I didn't have to pull over.
Tesla do.
It was fine. So I hit the autopilot. I pop on, and I'm like, wait a second. So then Woj this morning says that the Lakers are zeroing in on Dan Hurley, which is code for they're hiring Dan Hurley, 2-time national champion at UConn, back-to-back. They're hiring him to be the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers in a deal that's going to happen over the next couple of days, and that he has always been the front runner for the gig. And so then you say to yourself, well, what just happened?
Yep.
So, because I don't believe that Shams Charania's report is made up out of the clear blue sky. And that checked a lot of boxes for me in terms of what I thought perception was that LeBron James would want. We were even in his reporting, it said Mike Krzyzewski is helping with the process.
That's what made it. When I heard that Coach K was helping the Lakers with this search, it felt like, well, okay, LeBron's going to get somebody that he trusts. Because I think he played under Coach K for Team USA. And so what you bring in is not a coach for LeBron, because nobody's coaching LeBron, but a guy that LeBron can go to in situations.
Yes.
You know, LeBron's the player coach, or as much a player coach as has ever been in the National Basketball Association. But yes, then this morning, news happens. And again, this is supposed to be a massive long-term contract offer to Dan Hurley for the Lakers.
So, is it possible that both things are and were true? Is it possible that Shams Charania reporting is accurate and that J.J. Redick was going to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers? And that the only thing I can think of is that something happened in the dialogue between him and Lakers ownership last night, and that the whole time they were kind of circling Dan Hurley, and then they went back to him and made him an offer he couldn't refuse. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, because the idea that you would be... Now, has Shams reported anything today?
Outside of Hurley news, they've got a story up on The Athletic, but it's got nothing new that we haven't discussed.
Does he have any context? He gives no context to his reporting?
In terms of...
Shams' reporting yesterday about J.J. Redick. Like, does he say, hey, this... Like, what happened?
Nothing. Nothing about why it wasn't Redick. Only that it was Redick until it wasn't.
Yeah. So
which is...
The only thing to me that makes... To me, it is more plausible that both things are true than it is to me that Shams' reporting is completely off.
Yeah.
I just don't... So something must have happened overnight with J.J. Redick. I mean, my God, Mike Breen was commenting on this.
Like it was fact. Like it was
fact. Like J.J.'s going to do great because the finals start tonight. J.J. was saying, I'm not going to talk about anything until after the finals because he's broadcasting it tonight. So they're going to have to address it.
At 8.
They're going to have to address it. But the only thing I could come up with is that something changed overnight with Redick and the Lakers that allowed for this incredible switch. Boy, yeah, I'm even looking at his tweets, and there's nothing.
There's nothing in terms of why the Lakers said no thanks to Redick.
No, there's nothing with like a hey, this is what happened overnight. I mean, this was yesterday. The Lakers are zeroing in on J.J. Redick as a front runner for the franchise's next head coach. League and industry sources say.
Now, for the reporting on Hurley, it's the offers out there right now, so nothing's been signed. So given all of this, something maybe could turn in 24 hours.
This is how you end up with David Blatt.
Well, yeah.
I mean, this is how you end up with David Blatt.
This is what happens when you make a last-second knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah. If the ink doesn't dry...
Redick gets picked up by somebody else.
Or he says, to hell with it. I'm not dealing with an organization that I thought I was at the finish line, and now they're doing this.
Hey, David Blatt won a ring.
He did.
So, there's that.
Maccabi Tel Aviv, I believe, right?
Well, no, the Cavs offered him a ring for 2016. He turned it down.
Well, yeah.
Well, they still offered it to him.
What are you going to do?
They ejected him when they were first in the East in February.
Well,
the hell of a move. But yes, you are right. To your point, when you make these, when you're knee-jerky like this at the last second, you put yourself in a worse position. And if it is the long-term contract offer for Hurley, could Redick have found out that they were flirting with him and said, you know what, I'm not dealing with this organization right now? Because they also hired Steve Nash.
One other thing is not lost on me. The national champion in football and basketball both went pro.
It's a good point. I didn't think about that.
And if that isn't an indicator, I don't think it's just a coincidence.
No.
Now, it's the Los Angeles Chargers and Justin Herbert, and it's the Los Angeles Lakers. So those are big-time jobs.
Only a few you would do that for.
True. They're big-time jobs. But it's not lost on me that the two-time defending national champion in basketball and the national champion in football both decided within a couple of months to go coach pros. And it's something that when you talk to people that are in college athletics at the moment, the demand is insane because it's not just the relentless recruiting, the relentless name, image, and likeness. It's not just the free portal. It's not just re-recruiting your own players and players in the portal and high school kids and all of that. It's also what Ryan Day has done over the last month, which is fundraise.
Yep.
He's now a chief fundraiser.
You are on the media tour.
Yes. So he's a chief fundraiser. He's a lead recruiter. He's keeping his own guys happy. He's recruiting high school kids and college players. I don't need it. I don't need it anymore.
Especially if the Lakers are giving you what's reported a gigantic long-term contract offer. I am disappointed if it's not going to be Redick because I was looking forward to the LeBron, J.J. Redick fallout feud. I was really looking forward to how that would play out because if Redick gets fired from the Lakers, then what? He goes back to ESPN, and then he's on a national broadcast every night.
Right.
LeBron's got a couple more seasons. Then he's out of the league. Now Redick maybe feels like he could speak freely. This was I was concocting in my messed up imagination.
Sure.
Don't get that anymore, which is a shame.
Zach, with this, and this would be pretty funny if this is reality, maybe J.J. Redick was going to be the coach until he said he wasn't wasting a draft pick on Bronny.
Well,
I'm guessing all of that was worked out. Did you see that, by the way, that he went from Bronny's now like a 50th ranked prospect?
Yeah.
On ESPN because the Lakers pick it like 54.
It's incredible, yeah.
Yeah, that's how that all is it's all going to shake itself out. So just a surreal morning with that story and an incredible kind of turn of events. And at some point, like if you're Shams, at some point the real truth has to come out. You have to know, you got to tell people what happened there. You have to explain the reporting because you can't report something that emphatically and then switch it to following Woj with the Hurley stuff.
And I have no reason to believe he didn't. I have every reason to believe from his past that it was a done deal, and then something drastic or dramatic happened, and that's what we'll get to learn about. What is, been a fun organization in the Lakers and hiring coaches.
Completely dysfunctional since Jerry Buss is passed.
It's the fun and
with
dysfunctional.
His kids. They're lucky they have that history and those uniforms in that city and all of that. But yeah, that. I think that if I had to guess, something happened last night between Redick and the Lakers that led to where we are. And so then they said, we'll make Dan Hurley an offer he can't refuse, and it looks like he's going to accept it. The Memorial Tournament is underway. We are broadcasting live out at Muirfield Village. Take a look at some of those featured tee times coming up. Get you set for a very, very big day. The great Tom Sprouse walking by here. We get luminaries. That's one thing about this perch. You're going to get luminaries everywhere. The people who put this on are just simply the best. You'll see it. It's coming out. As soon as you walk in the door, you're going to feel it. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Your morning just got beefier. Morning Juice with Beamer, Bobby, and Shark.
Weekdays from 6 to 9.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Erectile dysfunction is a destroyer of your confidence, of your joy and intimacy, and often it can even harm your relationship. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leading men's sexual health practice in our area for treating erectile dysfunction. And I want you to know today that if you're like most men, you can be free of ED and all the impacts it has on your life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're your local provider for dealing with men's sexual health issues. Our expert medical teams are focused on treating ED, and we have highly effective treatment plans with some protocols that work in well over 90% of cases. We can even combine treatments for greater efficacy, all of which means it's very likely you'll be having great sex again within just a day or two of your first appointment. You might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations, just off 270 in Hilliard and near the Medical Mile in Westerville.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
I joke around and with my wife and call it my bionic knee.
But before Ernest became a patient with QC Kinetics, it was a different story.
I'd go to bed with my knee throbbing, heat, ice. I would get up in the middle of the night to get a drink or something, and I would just be hobbling.
He wasn't able to play on his rec basketball team or work in the yard. But QC Kinetics regenerative treatments turned around the situation without surgery or downtime, using Ernest's own healing properties to help restore his aching knee, now known as Ernest's bionic knee.
I am really happy because I am playing the game that I love so much, and I'm playing with my granddaughter, and I'm gardening, and I'm on my knees, and I'm jumping up. I have a 200-pound dog, and I'm playing with my dog.
Now Ernest is living his best life thanks to QC Kinetics, and so can you. Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
I need directions for paying down debt.
Starting route. Apply for a SoFi personal loan and consolidate your debt into one fixed payment. Turn right into a positive outlook and get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign with no fees required.
Got it. You could get out of high-interest credit card debt with a SoFi personal loan. View your rate at SoFi.com/debt in 60 seconds with no impact to your credit score. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/debt. NMLS 696891.
97.1 The Fan. Memorial Leaderboard Update.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. This Memorial Tournament Leaderboard Update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit them today at bmifcu.org. Round 1 rolls along at Muirfield Village. 74 players in the field this year. Everyone's starting from hole number 1. Turn your cell phones off if you come out to Muirfield Village, please, this morning. Peter Malnati and Matt Fitzpatrick are 1 under for the morning. Shane Lowry, Adam Schenk, Denny McCarthy, and Tom Kim are at even. A gaggle of golfers are at 1 over, including South Korea's Ben An. Patrick Cantlay and Wyndham Clark will begin their first round at the top of the hour. World number 1 Scotty Scheffler goes around 10:30. Scotty's paired with Ludwig Oberg. Defending champion Victor Hovland and Xander Schauffele go shortly after. It's around 10:40 this afternoon. Ricky Fowler, Max Homa are at 1. Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, 1:20. Another live Memorial Tournament update at the bottom of the hour on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medications. The solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Here's what's up on a Thursday, the Thursday in Central Ohio. Day 1 of the Memorial Tournament is underway, as you heard Reese say in the update right there. In terms of those featured groups that you're going to want to be paying attention to, those you got some time. It's around 10 o'clock when that really, actually you got about 20 minutes now when you're starting to get that run of major champions and known guys. You're talking about Wyndham Clark at 10:05 playing with Patrick Cantlay. Then you have Xander Schauffele and Victor Hovland, your defending champion. They go off at 10:20. And then it's really 4 pretty good ones, but the one at 10:30 is the money one. That's Scotty Scheffler and Ludwig Oberg. They are set at 10:30. Horschel and Zalatoris after that. And then from there, you get into more of the afternoon tee times. The other one that's kind of prime there is it's at around 1 o'clock. Yeah, 1 at 1 o'clock.
Well, you got a gaggle of good golfers at 1.
It's 1. So you go Ricky and Max Homa at 1. Then at 1:10, you go Jay Day and Justin Rose. 1:20, Rory and Justin Thomas. And then Spieth goes at 1:30. Matsuyama, Morikawa at 1:40. Holy cow. I mean, it's
you
that
park
from
your butt
1 to 1:40.
At 1. You're good for an hour.
Yeah. I'm considering making my guy Nicky DeBatt my golf handicapper, and so Nicky DeBatt gave me last night. He liked Oberg and he liked Morikawa, were the 2 guys that he was kind of keen on this week. So we're going to test him out this week, see how it goes. So those were his picks to click last night, and we'll see if that's the way that it all shakes out.
Who is it again? It was Morikawa?
Oberg and Morikawa.
All right, so Oberg's at 25 plus 2,500 per our friends at Tipico Sportsbook. Colin Morikawa plus 1,300. You're still right now getting Scheffler the best odds at plus 340 to win at Jack's Place.
Vegas, where are you at on that?
It's funny because on Rothman and Ice yesterday, Rothman and I both agreed Morikawa's the guy at 14-1.
Wow. How about that?
We both went in on Morikawa. My issue with Oberg is he doesn't have a win yet. And for the first win to be here, that'd be spectacular. But
it's a lot of pressure for him in the next 2 days with Scheffler, knowing the gallery that's going to be following the world's number 1 golfer.
Yep.
Over under 3.5 free Scotty shirts with that group.
Over.
Okay.
Way over.
Over. But it did when he was available yesterday, or it was Tuesday.
It's tremendous.
Yeah, but the shots at Louisville were very intentional and specific, and I think warranted.
Very much so.
The other thing, though, is like it did strike me how much it bothered him what happened. Like he's not laughing it off, I guess, is the short of it. Nor do I think he should. I mean, it's an absurd thing that happened, but he's still personally quite bothered by what happened down there that morning, and it was quite absurd. And that's one of the things. Like we can laugh it off with mugshot pictures and all of that stuff, but the reality is that this is a dude who's still pretty shook by what happened. And honestly, it maybe kept him from winning another major. Quite honestly,
I mean, incredible thing. He's doing stretches in the holding cell, goes out, plays pretty well Friday.
Plays great.
Saturday was rough for him. A little rebound on a Sunday, but not enough to keep him obviously winning that tournament. But I couldn't imagine and we put this poll up a couple weeks or the week after it happened.
Yeah.
If you got arrested the morning you had to go to work for a big deal, would you still show up? A lot of people are like, no. Most said no.
No, you're not.
Most would.
So I had to amend it. I said for a very important
the
day.
biggest part of
like
the
a
biggest
really
day you have.
Yeah, big. You're a big time presentation.
You're trying to get a promotion or something.
If you're Draper and those guys and you're presenting to Heinz, like that type of thing.
There you go.
Like you got to make sure you're at the Heinz presentation. Is the way that thing's got to operate. By the way, today, 80 years ago, a bunch of wide-eye Americans jumped out of planes and jumped off of boats onto a fortified beach in France and started to save the world. It's never lost on me this date. It's incomprehensible to imagine what was going through their heads. We are fortunate, I suppose, that not suppose. We are fortunate that we have at least some. If you think of Band of Brothers and you think of Saving Private Ryan, you at least have people who were trusted with telling this story who crushed it. And so you have some visual feel for what that was like. Saving Private Ryan from the water, obviously, and Band of Brothers from the air. Just how chaotic that night was. I saw the stuff from Normandy yesterday, and
that was incredible.
Oh, it's just so humbling. And you think about Macron, the president of Prime Minister of France, with his comments that the French will never forget what America did for them and what the Allied forces did for them that day. And there aren't many of them left. I mean, it's 80 years.
It was an incredibly wonderful gesture to as many that could go and at least put their feet on that beach one last time. And a really cool thing every year is with the cemetery that they have. The French go out there with beach sand and they wipe it on the memorial crosses, and it's like a golden memorial for everybody that gave their life, gave the ultimate sacrifice at such a young age. It's incredible.
Oh, it's so humbling. It's just so humbling to think. And one thing that I hope with and I think of it now that I have boys and they're they're going through their curriculum and stuff, and like World War II was such even more than really any of the wars, probably the Independence War was one that you got taught a lot too, but World War II, you spent a lot of time learning about World War II, and I hope, and my oldest will be in 7th grade next year, and I did watch a couple episodes of Band of Brothers, and he's like, yeah, this is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, maybe you're not quite here yet.
It starts and it does not stop.
No. But like my grandfather served, he was in France in World War II, and many of us did have. You have grandparents who were part of that generation, our greatest generation, and it's 80 years. So this will be the last one of these type of ones because it's hard to imagine a scenario where you're 5 years from now at 85.
Yeah.
Now you're talking well into your hundreds. You're in your hundreds now anyway, likely if you're there. But the bravest and the best of all of us with that one. And those images are give it a second today and think about and be thankful for and grateful for the sacrifices that were made by so many and the bravery. It's just unbelievable. And not lost here at the Memorial Tournament. Jack always really makes the military, and he used to make Memorial Day such a huge critical part when it was either coming into Memorial Day weekend or coming out of it. This week you have a little bit of time in between, but he still had the ceremony yesterday. Dom emceed it. And so he still had that, and he still pays great homage to our military here at the Memorial Tournament every single year. We had some good news up in Cleveland yesterday. We'll explain that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. So give your friends something to look at and make this a summer to share and save with a capable Kia SUV like the Sorento, Sportage, Seltos, or Telluride, or a powerful sedan like the fun-to-drive Forte. Each backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. And for a limited time, get 1.9% APR for 48 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged 2024 Sportage and Sorento models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 48 months from Kia Finance, subject to credit approval for purchase of a new 2024 Sportage or Sorento. Excludes hybrids and PHEVs. $21.65 per month per $1,000 financed at 48 months. $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 7/8/24. Limited inventory. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See retailer for details.
We always come through for you when you need us to. That's ECO's promise to you. And for AC repair and installation, that means today, not tomorrow. If you have an air-conditioned breakdown, we'll get a tech out to your home today. Or we'll give you a year's EcoFi Advantage membership for free. And make no mistake, we're a repair, not replace company. Our techs are trained to give you all your repair options. Sometimes, though, it just makes more financial sense to replace. And that's where we really come through for you when you need us to. Because we'll replace your AC system same day. No sleeping overnight in a hot, humid house. Or we'll take $1,500 off the cost of your new system and provide you with portable AC units for your bedroom. That's what coming through for you when you need us to means. So if you need AC repair, call ECO for same-day service. We'll get your home cool again. We'll make it happen today.
At GetEco.com.
See some football players try to play softball? Join us for Schmidt's Cardale Jones Charity Softball Game.
Why picnic when you can schmidtnick? And presented by Monogram Homes and the U.S. Air Force. The Fan.
Low testosterone causes many issues, including low sex drive, bad sleep patterns, unproductive workouts, decreased energy, brain fog, and more. But many men just attribute these symptoms to aging and don't consider that there are medical treatments that can give them back their vigor and vibrancy. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leading men's sexual health practice in our area for treating low T. And if you're feeling like I just described, it's time for you to treat that low T. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating low testosterone. We've successfully treated many men for the condition and seen the amazing difference that those treatments can make in a man's life. If you're like most men with low T, within just a few weeks, your energy will return, that brain fog will disappear, your sleep will improve, as will your workouts, and your sex drive will be significantly enhanced as well. So call us and make a true life change. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations, just off 270 in Hilliard and near the Medical Mile in Westerville.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Producers, co-hosts, friends, some of those things are true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And broadcasting live out here at Muirfield Village. Day 1 of the Memorial Tournament is underway. And the Fans Live broadcast from the Memorial are presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling and Orthopedic One on that. Featured group's going to start going off here in about 10 minutes or so is the way that will all shake out. Certainly when you walk into Muirfield Village, you feel the greatness all around you. The same could not be said of the Cleveland Browns for the better part of the last 25 years. But that is changing. And for the first time, I was trying to think of the last time this had happened, where the Browns extended the general manager and coach. Now, the one caveat to that is you rarely see them both start at the same time and extend it at the same time. So it's a little bit of a cheat. Here's a couple of things. Hugh Jackson did get an extension.
He did.
So it wasn't one that anybody trumpeted, but basically what happened is they won 1 game in 2 years, and as a make good for going through that, Hugh did get an extension.
I would say it was the opposite of something being trumpeted.
No, they didn't. I mean, and no one even, I don't even know if anybody even knew about it. It was something that happened
until I think it was like maybe the first or second week. Like, wait, they extended this guy?
Yeah. So he did get extended. The other time it happened since they've been back, and I don't think it was at the exact same time the way this was it was Phil Savage and Romeo Crennel.
Okay.
they did get extended as well. But I don't know if it was like this where they started at the same time.
Same
they
time,
both
extension
were
at the same time.
My hunch is probably not.
Tom Pelissaro had this, that the last coach to get an extension or to get his 5th year as Browns head coach is Bill Belichick.
Yeah, and then if to go, I mean, like even Marty was only there from like 84 to 89.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Rutigliano before that, like 78 to 84 or somewhere in there. So like they haven't had that. Now, this is something that the Haslams have chased and wanted forever, was this stability. And they have been willing to spend a great deal of their own money to pay people not to coach and not to be general managers. Because when things weren't right,
it's a good gig.
They would move off of it.
They would clean.
And by the way, retroactively, there isn't any of those ones that you look back on and said, well, that guy got done dirty.
No.
None of those guys have any of them even been head coaches again? That group of people
it's back
that they fired?
Back to Coordinator City.
Yeah, so they've made, solid football decisions, but they've chased this because you will recall that Jimmy Haslam was in the ownership group with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so that stability that the Pittsburgh Steelers have, that the Baltimore Ravens have, is something that he has coveted. And they finally got true alignment. Now, Barry and Stefanski, it's a bit of a shotgun marriage. Stefanski's hired first. Barry is brought back. He was with the Browns before. He was there with Sashi Brown. Then he comes when John Dorsey and his group came in. Andrew Barry was there with them for a year, and then he went with Howie Roseman in Philly, and then came back after Stefanski was hired. So the timeline goes Stefanski and then Barry. Paul DePodesta wanted Stefanski hired. John Dorsey did not. John Dorsey wanted Freddie Kitchens, and that's how that ended up the way that it did. So they get him extended. And now you have stability. Mm-hmm. And I remember asking Stefanski this early on in his tenure, because he would talk about, and I asked Paul about this too, how do you build a culture amidst losing? We deal with it with the Blue Jackets all the time. How do you build culture amidst losing? And the reality is you probably can't. The only culture you build in losing is losing culture.
Yes.
That's it. Becomes this is what we do, we lose. And so they have beaten down 2 decades of losing culture with this group. And their roster is one now that's as good as any in the National Football League. It's the same thing we always say. It's the bet on Deshaun.
Yep.
I mean, that's it. That's the only question they have. Everything else is known with them. And so I think this is a monumental day for the Cleveland Browns, who, by the way, are going to be partnered with us for the next 3 years. We extended that, so you'll hear Browns games here on the Fan, so it's very exciting to continue to be the radio home here in Central Ohio of your Cleveland Browns. But to me, this is this wasn't breaking news. It wasn't anything anybody didn't see coming. It was expected. It was known. But to see pen to paper, it's validation of what has happened up there.
Yeah, to actually see the Browns come out with that announcement in a timely manner from when it was done to when it was told to everybody was nice to see, because you talk about stability, and it, often their media messages are mixed, jumbled, all over the place. This feels like they got this right. They got this absolutely right with Stefanski. They got absolutely right with Barry. Can I argue Rod Shazinski real quick?
That he got done dirty?
Well, not really.
He had 1 year.
I was trying to think which one maybe you could have argued, give him a little extra time, but Haslam's got it in 12. He had 13. And to your earlier point, they felt, no, he's not the guy. So they moved.
There was a window in there. I mean, I wasn't as closely connected at that point with them. But there was a point in there at one point where they had a tremendous flirtation with Jim Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Haslam really wanted Jim Harbaugh at one of those hires or fires. They've just come so far from. I mean, I was in the building the day Hugh Jackson was fired, and then 2 hours later they fired Todd Haley, and we said, "Well, wait a second.
What was
There's no one going to call plays.
Yep.
You fired the only people who've ever called plays." And then
that begat Freddie Kitchens.
Well, the reason that it happened was, and I was doing the show with Segura at the time, who's now you'll hear right here on the Fan on the games in the color analyst role. But he's like, actually, Freddie Kitchens called plays in a preseason game at Detroit, like as a gift. Todd let him call plays. And he goes, he's the only one that would call plays. And so they've come a long way from that. And now they have stability. And now what you're going to have is you're going to have them drafting and signing free agents that fit their style going forward. One other big development that's happening with them up there, and mandatory minicamp starts next week for them. I don't know that enough of a deal has been made about what they're doing offensively. It's a change. It's an incredible change offensively. Stefanski came up in a wide zone, Kubiak, Shanahan, and he has schemed it open. They have been schemed open. He's a hell of a play caller. In fact, I'd argue that's how he got the job, is his feel for play calling, right? So I don't know if he's going to call the plays or not. Ken Dorsey's called all the plays in OTAs.
Has there been anything from anybody up there that would make you think he wouldn't be the play caller? Because I had heard rumblings that people were thinking Dorsey might come in, and I'm like, I'm not sure that's the ask there. It's Stefanski's offense. Just let him.
That's the thing that I think isn't quite being reported. It's not his offense anymore.
Okay.
So it is a full shotgun spread offense, and there will have some elements of Stefanski and his hallmarks, but it is not going to be what we're used to in terms of his offense. And the reason for this is because they need 4 to be good.
Yeah.
And so he and Jameis, they play out of the shotgun. They play 4 wide. So one thing that they're doing, and this was, you think about the Odell Beckham divorce, one of the big beefs they had with Beckham, and Baker had it with it, and Stefanski had it with Beckham, was he wasn't always where he was supposed to be when he was supposed to be there. Right? He wanted freedom in route running.
Didn't like to follow instructions.
Right. So now their receivers are running primarily option routes.
Yeah.
So it won't be turn your head, throw it to a spot, he will be here, Amari Cooper will be there. It will be watch the receiver and you better be on the same page based on the read, and then make the decision. So it will be a see it, throw it versus a throw it. That's the change. And Deshaun Watson's comfortable in that.
That works to Forrest's skill set.
So that's the reason.
It all does fall on him, and I wonder, just as you're saying that, when we talked about Joe Flacco at the end of last season, what Stefanski liked about him so much was he was, call it, I'm throwing it. Like, this isn't I'm going to make
100%.
I'm going to make moves on the fly. This is here's the play. This is where I'm going to. And you had said this every week that this isn't Deshaun's game. This is Deshaun's offense. You have to tailor it to him because that's the only way you're seeing the postseason is if he's successful.
It takes a great deal of self-confidence if you're Kevin Stefanski to give up the one thing that got you the gig.
I mean, Ryan Day
is
dealing with a similar thing here in Columbus.
The difference is, though, Chip's going to run Ryan's offense.
Well, that's true.
And this is not that. This ain't that at all. Second hour of the program up next. Your emails coming up. The mayor of Dublin, Dom Taberi, is here as well. Second hour. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Question from a listener. Do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Hi, this is Bob Capacci. Worthington Jewelers has done it again. Come see our new collection of Glock watches at Worthington Jewelers, where Columbus gets engaged.
Are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Schottenstein Roofing. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
Are you not able to enjoy the summer as much as you want because of joint pain? This is the time of year for being outdoors. It's the best, but not if your knees, shoulders, hips, or back are hurting. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. Call them today. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's biologics and help restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk, run, hike, play golf, move, swim, all pain-free. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Sheencup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. They have locations in Columbus, in both Gahanna and Dublin. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. So go check them out at QCkinetics/Columbus or give them a call, 380-208-4544.
This Father's Day, help Dad be all he can be with a Father's Day gift from the Home Depot. Because he's not just Dad. He's the handyman of the house, the plumber in a pinch, and the emergency mechanic. For Father's Day, upgrade his gear with the Husky 270-piece mechanics tool set from the Home Depot. Just $99. Perfect in the hands of a pro or a dad. For every kind of dad, find the perfect gift this Father's Day at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
This show's sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We blinked and 2024 is already halfway over. Pretty incredible. What's something that you've done this year you're proud of? Keep up the good work with a moment every week to hit pause, set intentions, and reset in therapy. BetterHelp offers affordable online therapy on a flexible schedule. Take a moment with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/like today to get 10% off your first month.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells. Starting with baseball, down a run entering the ninth. Spencer Steer hit a 2-run shot, and Jonathan India hit a grand slam as the Reds scored 6 runs in the inning to rally past the Rockies 12-7. Cincinnati sweeps the 3-game set in Colorado. Next up, the Redlegs will be back at home tonight as they host the Cubs in the first of a 4-game series. In Cleveland, the Guardians-Royals game was postponed last night due to weather. Those two teams will wrap up the would-be 3-game set this afternoon at Progressive Field. First pitch is at 1:10. Some major news in the basketball world as ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski has reported that the Lakers are targeting UConn's Dan Hurley to be the franchise's next head coach. They're preparing a massive long-term contract offer to bring the back-to-back national champion coach to Los Angeles. Woj has also reported that Hurley has been at the forefront of LA's search this entire time since the beginning of the process. On the court, we have Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight in Boston between the Mavericks and Celtics. Tip-off is at 8:30.
The Fan guys think they're good at golf, but putt-putt doesn't count, so we're at the Memorial.
Sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling and Orthopedic One. The Fan.
The uncle you never knew you had. The friends you kind of wish you didn't. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here. Broadcasting live out at Muirfield Village at Jack's Place. The Memorial Tournament Round 1 is underway. Some big-time pairings coming up here starting at 10 o'clock off the first tee for the next half hour. Just kind of park yourself there, and going to be a lot of wins for everybody. A lot of wins from Chef Steven as well. We got some of the leftovers from Bob and Beam, and the bacon is sensational. It's like some sort of a maple bacon. It's tons of wins. That feels like a breakfast burrito to me. Is what that.
Are you going to unwrap that sometime during the show, or is that?
Well, I think we could split it.
Okay.
You and I could probably split that. I can't take all that down. I mean, I'm a man. I'm 48.
Save it for later. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. And speaking of things you got to deal with sometimes when you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation. Every case is different. Finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just being okay and amazing. And if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, you certainly want a good outcome. ED is a terrible thing to have to live with. Stresses on relationship creates anxiety, undue hardships on a man, and oftentimes their partner as well. Well, don't suffer any longer. Give my friends at Tri-State Men's Health a call today. Get more connected to the one you love. 2 locations to serve you here in Central Ohio, Hilliard and Westerville. Online anytime at tristatemenshealth.com. That number is 800-900-9654, and they will take care of you on that. It is a Thursday at 10 o'clock. Time for your emails.
Our comment box is always open. Any feedback is mostly appreciated.
The mail never stops. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. There's never a let-up. It's relentless. Every day it piles up more and more and more, and you got to get it up. And the more you get out, the more it keeps coming in.
Bishop and Friends present emails.
A full mailbox today. Let's start with this one. The title is Pranking Bootsy.
Oh.
Here's what behind with this. For those who don't recall, I told the story a couple of weeks ago as we were leaving. Actually, it was last week as we were leaving, picking him up for his last day of school, and Bootsy was sitting next to me in the car, and I said, "Look," he's like, "It's summer, I can't wait." And I go, "Listen, your mom and I have talked, and we think that 2 months is just too long to go without school. It's just too long, and we don't want you to forget everything. So we've signed you up for some summer school." It's not a big deal. It's not full day. You're going to go from 8 to noon from June 15th until the end of July, and then you'll have a couple weeks totally off, and then you'll go into summer. And his face just dropped. He started to well up in tears, and I did feel kind of bad about it. And his thing was, "Oh, come on!" And he was, "Why would you do that?" Like all of this. And he, and then I didn't want him to cry, so I intervened. So anyway, that's in reference to this. Love the show. I'm listening to the podcast and heard your recent story pranking Bootsy with summer school. Laughed pretty hard and was reminded of something that happened a few years back in the summer camp I work in. It was the COVID year, and we were looking for a color war breakout idea. The camp director got up at the end of the lunch and announced that since the school year was cut short because of COVID, there would need to be school time during camp hours. We then proceeded to hand out mask sheets, pencils, and told 200 or so kids that they're going to need to be tested to see where they should be placed. The kids went nuts. Some were about to cry. I heard one say to his friend, "They'll never get away with this. My mother pays a lot of money for this camp. She won't let us have us do math." That's amazing. That is even more diabolical.
That's an incredible con. Because you got to get prepared with pencils,
the printouts,
paper. I mean, you're spending a lot of time planning and preparing for that.
After a few minutes, we announced that it was the color war breakout, and there was a sigh of relief. That's even more. The problem with my pranks on the boys is I probably should do a better job of documenting it.
That's
I probably
my biggest thing.
I should have had a video on him. That, and when I showed up at the front door at Halloween dressed as Jason, and Bootsy sprinted up the stairs crying. Beamsy just crumbled to the floor crying like in the fetal position, and NBC just sprinted out, just gone. There should have been video of that. It's a bad job out of me. I'll be better in the future. This run from Wolfgang. Love the show. By the way, this is where these have been. A lot of people have. There was a stretch of people who really hated us, but it seems like everyone's in a pretty good mood now. All right. I'm a Buckeye Browns fan living in California. I want to say I love the show and listen every day. I have a quick question for you. I want to bring my wife to Columbus for a trip to try to convince her to move there. Do you have any cool experiences you recommend? I'm a big bourbon guy myself, so any great eateries, Rex would also be great. I've been trying to figure out how to get High Bank out here. I can help you with that. He said he can't find online. We can work that out. He appreciates the big Venus and the broadcasting abilities. Keep up the great work. I love the stories of the family.
The big what?
We'll just say that once. Thank you for making us folks on the other side of the country feel like we're living in Columbus every day, and so much more to come. All right, here's what I would say. First of all, this would have been a great weekend to do it.
This is the weekend.
This is the weekend to do it. So I don't know if you have plans tomorrow, but tomorrow would be great. hop on a plane from L.A. and get out here. I think the Memorial Tournament is. I think there's a couple of times a year that are pretty undefeated around here. This time of year and then September.
Yes.
Those would be, and really October, those would be the 2 times a year that, like, you want to get a feel for the place and what it's all about. Buckeye Football Saturday and the Memorial Tournament, those are the ones through a sports prism. But I also think through a cultural prism that best represent everything that we're capable of. And you grew up here. And is there anything those feel like the 2 things?
No, I was just about to ask what they were doing that last weekend in August, because it's going to be a game against Akron, but it's the first game of Ohio State's football season.
Yeah.
And so, you'll get in for a good price, but you'll also get everybody's excitement.
There's juice
for that game. There's so much build-up, especially with this season, leading up to it, and then enjoy Columbus. But if it's not that, then this is the ultimate Columbus experience.
The other thing is pretty crazy. He asked about, like, restaurant recommendations and all of that. And the reality is, pick a suburb.
Wherever you are, they're
all great. Yeah. We're 10 minutes from Bridge Park. I mean, that didn't exist 10 years ago.
No.
And so, like, there's countless great experiences there. You can go downtown. You can go Short North. You can go out to Easton. You go to any of these places. They're all locked in. Great neighborhoods, great eats. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for.
If you're not busy on the 4th of July, so I know it's on a Thursday this year, that weekend, you pitch out some chairs on Northwest Boulevard to have yourself a good time.
Join Reese?
Yep.
I thought you were going to say Red, White, and Boom, and I was going to tell you to go to hell.
I wouldn't.
There's not enough money in the world.
I would not do it.
My wife used to have to broadcast that thing, and she's like, "Oh, you got to come down here once." And so I'm like, "All right." So I tried to navigate through it. No chance.
I was told that too. Like, you got to come down and see it, and I said, "No, I don't."
I'll watch from
the
roof.
Thank you. Yeah, you can see it from parking garages.
Yeah. This one from Wyatt. On November 9th, the subject is Oilers turnaround in the Stanley Cup Finals. They are going to happen, as it turns out. They just waited a week to do it, but it will start on Saturday. On November 9, 2023, the Oilers lost to San Jose, who ended up being the worst team in the league, and fell to 2-9-1 in the season. I remember talking about that with Jody. Like, what's going on?
What the hell's happening?
A coaching change, a 16-game win streak, a deep playoff run later. They're in the final. The win cemented their spot. Was the one that got outshot 35-10. A Connor McDavid, Draisaitl team outshot 35-10. Also, you may have guessed, this is the largest straight-line distance between two finalists, 2,541 miles. Makes sense that there's an extra day of break whenever the teams have to travel. Apparently, Edmonton is geographically closer to both Russia and Greenland than the Panthers Arena in Sunrise.
Okay.
Ask Sarah Palin. She'd know.
Sure. You can see it from her window.
She knows where it is. She can see it right out the window. It's not that far.
From the bathroom.
This is what I always tell people about how big, like, Canada and the West is. Edmonton isn't even halfway to Alaska from Montana. So, and I think I said yesterday, Edmonton's like 7 hours from where I grew up in north central Montana, and it's not even halfway to Alaska. Kathy Cox, the subject is 10-cent beer night. She writes, I remember when the Clippers used to have 25-cent beer nights. If you didn't get a beer by the fourth inning, you didn't get any because the lines were so long. Great memories. You remember quarter
I was a
beer
little
night?
too young for that. I remember going to Cooper Stadium for those. And there would be people that I was with that might have, arrived a little late for that. So she's right.
Dollar Dog is the operation.
They got dimes, brother.
Dime dogs?
Yep, Dime a Dog. I think next Tuesday they're doing it. I mean, it's every Tuesday at the Huntington Park. Yes. $1, get you 10 of them.
Oh, my God. I always thought it was $1 a dog. Schnocky would always talk about that. I always thought it was $1. It's a 10-cent dog.
They do buck a brat occasionally.
Oh, my God. That's a lot of dogs.
A lot of hot dogs.
That's a lot of hot dogs.
We got a topic for July. How many hot dogs do you think you could eat in a baseball setting? 9 innings. Can you do a dog an inning?
Yes.
Okay.
Just like the ball, like the little guys that are in the sacks that you get at ballparks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could easily. One an inning.
How do you think you'd feel afterwards?
Not great.
Okay.
Well, you ask Dom, if you got cheese or you get backed up.
It's true, the backup cheese.
Can't have that.
No.
Can't have that at all. Let me see this one from Roy. I'm going to save this one. There's a lot.
You got a lot there.
There's a lot going on there. We'll save that, Roy.
Thank
I'll
you
get
for
to
the
next
emails.
Week. We appreciate the emails on that. Broadcasting live out here at the Memorial Tournament. Round 1 is underway. In terms of if you're making your way here now, your timing is pretty dang good. 10:05, Wyndham Clark, Patrick Cantley. They just went off the first tee. Xander Schauffele, Victor Hovland after that. Then Scotty Scheffler, Ludwig Oberg is the 10:30. Billy Horschel, Will Zalatoris at 10:40. So you're going to go to one tee, and you're going to get to see a lot of cool stuff. And then when those guys come around, one group after another.
Catch the morning guys.
Is pretty sweet. And then the second kind of big wave of marquee tee time. Basically, if you're here... If you're waiting to come here in the afternoon, the time is 1 o'clock. That's when this thing gets nuts, because they're all in pairs, and it's Fowler and Homa at 1. It's J Day and Justin Rose at 1:10. Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas at 1:20. Brian Harman and Jordan Spieth at 1:30. Hideki Matsuyama, Colin Morikawa at 1:40. So that's 5 in a row, bangers, one after another on that side of things. So it's shaping up. And by the way, it's perfect. I looked at the forecast this morning and wasn't sure exactly what to wear, and it said it was going to be approaching 80, so I didn't know if the vest would be a little bit too heavy.
No,
but
perfect.
It's breezy.
Yep.
It's breezy. It's easy.
It looks like
good.
It might rain out here, but I think it's just cloud coverage. I think we're all right.
Yeah, you got to get somebody with a Doppler on it.
We have anybody from the news department coming up?
We got that guy. You think
right.
that guy's got a Doppler?
I think so. He's got the app.
Yeah, I think we're in the clear, aren't we?
Yes. For today,
Don't
tomorrow.
you hate the face recognition doesn't show up with the headset?
Sunglasses and the headset and the hat.
Well, the hat and the sunglasses it's used to. The headset, I think, is what's throwing me off right now.
I do want to encourage anybody that's listening right now, if they haven't come out to the Memorial ever, pick a Thursday or a Friday. Come out, take the next day off from work if you have it, because you want to, recover either from your body or if you've consumed too much. But these are the two best days to come see this thing.
There's no one who knows
you've never done it before.
The only person who knows it better than our next guest is Jack Nicklaus, the Golden Bear himself. Dom Taberry, coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you. The meatloaf! The Fan.
Hey guys, Andy Katzenmoyer for Game Day Men's Health. Struggling with low energy, lack of focus, and trouble in the bedroom? You might have low testosterone. Game Day is here to help. They specialize in low T and other treatments just for men, like vitamin therapy, sexual wellness, and weight loss. Best of all, it's quick. Get started in as little as one visit. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com/thefan to book your free low T test today. That's GameDayMen'sHealth.com/thefan.
It was spring of 2011. Eco Plumbers were just 4 years old. It's 7-ish p.m., and my sister is at her daughter's soccer game.
And I had my tablet in the bleachers with a Magic Jack USB stick.
Magic Jack was cutting edge back then.
Being able to schedule customers for the next morning service right from the bleachers was awesome.
It was this neat hack that let us provide after-hours, in-house call answering, and scheduling back when no other plumbers did that.
Now we run calls as late as 9 p.m. and will answer your call 24/7. You can even schedule online.
We always leverage technology to come through for you when you need us to.
Take EcoFi clean-in checks.
Advanced software, sensors, and tablets show the health and efficiency of your system.
And possible trouble spots.
Before we start the cleaning and maintenance, so you can see the before and after improvements for yourself.
Anyone can use technology,
but only Eco Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians use it to constantly upgrade their ability to serve you.
At GetEco.com.
Another day is here, and you're ready for it. What to wear? Check. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Check. Planning for what's next and how to save for it? That's where Bank of America can help. For your financial to-dos, Bank of America has experts ready to help get you closer to your goals. Get started at one of our Central Ohio financial centers or 24/7 in our mobile banking app. Find a location near you at bankofamerica.com/talktous. What would you like the power to do? Mobile banking requires downloading the app and is only available for select devices. Message and data rates may apply. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
If you're obsessed with fantasy sports and gambling things, we have the slightly above average radio show for you. On the Money with Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Sunday morning at 9 on The Fan.
If you're about to get engaged or ready to walk down the aisle, your true love deserves a true jeweler, the Diamond Seller. As a true jeweler, we not only have designer collections to meet your bridal needs, but we also have talented in-house designers who can create something truly one of a kind. Visit the Diamond Seller today.
Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear and deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99 in-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Here's a summer treat from Giannino's. Get a medium one-topping pizza for only $8. Giannino's Pizzeria in Pickerington and Westerville. You want a piece of me? Huh? Some restrictions apply.
Did you know 38% of Ohio's teenagers have spent money on gambling in video and online games? Items like mystery boxes, skins, and spin to win mimic gambling, putting children at a higher risk of experiencing a gambling disorder as an adult. So get in the know about youth gambling and start the conversation with discussion guides, parent resources, and more at ChangeTheGameOhio.org. That's ChangeTheGameOhio.org.
Glo Fiber Business is now in Ohio, and your business is our priority. Glo Fiber delivers reliably fast, custom, and prepackaged internet plans to meet the growing needs of your business. And our dependable 24/7 personal support means your business stays connected. Glo Fiber is here, and we mean business. Find out more at 833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiberbusiness.com today. Glo Fiber Business is not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Is your IRS tax debt making you feel anxious? The professionals at Allies Tax Relief are ready to negotiate your fresh start. Call them now, 800-230-5174.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Time now to get a look outside, and we are looking at the sunshine moving into the area. We had some clouds this morning, but now the sun will be building in throughout the afternoon. Going 80 for the high temperature today. It'll be pretty breezy out there with a west wind at 15 miles per hour, gusting to 25. Tomorrow, look for mostly sunny skies, highs around 75. That's your latest weather update on 97.1 The Fan.
Tipico Sportsbook is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Bishop & Friends. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The best hair on the air. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And broadcasting live out here at Muirfield Village, the Memorial Tournament Round 1 is underway. The Fans Live broadcast from the Memorial presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling and Orthopedic One. A man who, when he walks out here, the gates open, the doors open, the free stuff starts coming your way. The great Dom Taberry. What is this? 67th Memorial for you?
43rd. Only Jack has had more. 49th. And I look at your shoes. They're not tied.
I
was getting
out of here early this morning, and
but they're not tied. What are they? Hey, dudes?
No, it's just a New Balance. I just didn't feel like tying it. If I tie them, then I got to tie them every time. And if if they're like this, they slip in.
Is that hip?
I'm not hip or in. I'm a man. I'm 40. I've given up on that.
But you're the hippest dude here.
No. You know what I found? As I've gotten older, I just buy the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah.
I'm not in for experimenting. My wife will say, "Well, do you want to go shop?" No, I don't want to shop. I buy the same things over and over and over again. Same socks, same underwear, same everything.
I go through phases.
Yeah.
And so, like, now I'm into the golf pants.
Oh, the golf pants are amazing.
These are Adidas.
Yeah.
And that's all I wear, golf pants.
That's right.
I didn't used to wear them.
Right.
I was wearing wools and all that.
Yeah.
Not a golf pants. And I like Adidas. Adidas makes a nice golf pant.
They make a nice golf pant. I got into the Lululemon pant.
Well, that is because you, my friend, and I have two different kind of paychecks. I wanted the first time I went.
You're probably like Tim May. You could do this for free.
I asked Ryan Day one day.
Just be covering Buckeye football games just as a hobby.
I asked the Buckeye coach. I said, "What kind of pants are those?" It was nice, Lululemon. I didn't know what they were, and I said, "Oh, I like the way they look." And my daughter goes, "Oh, Dad, you need to get Lululemon." And I walked in, and I needed a bank loan to get Lululemon.
No, it's not like that at all. I tell you what. Why don't maybe you and I go there? We'll get you suited up.
We're going to negotiate?
We'll negotiate.
Well, we can just
we'll just negotiate.
How much for these pants?
Yeah, that's right. That's what we'll be influencers for them.
Who gets hurt?
That. Who gets hurt?
No one.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Are you surprised that after all of the years of you and I stealing stuff out of that clubhouse that they let us back?
Yes. We didn't steal anything. They just had food sitting around, and we ate it. Chips and ice cream, and
if it wasn't nailed down, we were taking it.
Well, we were hungry.
We were the only ones
here.
Nobody else was here.
We were live 24/7. We never left. We had to eat something. We're grown men walking around. There's no. Here, I found these chips. You want them?
You want a chip?
We ate pork rinds. Remember, they used to have the pork.
That's right.
Those were actually pretty good. You ever had a pork rind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's had a pork rind.
You know what it is?
It's skin
of a pork.
Do
Do you have any idea what it is?
Skin of pork. Skin of a pig.
It's pig skin.
Yeah, I know what it is.
And then they fry it.
Yeah. And then they season it. And
somehow
then
that doesn't seem healthy, but it tastes good.
And a lot of things that aren't healthy taste good.
You like lard?
In general?
Do you know what lard is?
Fat
pig
from an
fat.
animal. Well, it can be from a cow too, can it?
I
don't think it has to just be pig.
Fat.
I think it can be any.
Pig fat makes everything taste good.
Yeah, I remember when we were in New Orleans.
Bacon. You like bacon?
I just had some delicious.
Let me tell you what. I will tell you.
Well,
folks,
hold on just a second. You were talking about lard and all these other things.
Yeah.
You remember when we were in New Orleans?
Oh,
and we asked for the barbecue shrimp recipe at Dickie Bennett's joint.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we don't really give that out, but then you put on the charm.
Yeah.
Who gets hurt? And next thing you know, we got the recipe.
Yeah.
And what was the amount of butter? I mean,
it was like get 2 cases of butter, and it was like, that was one of the greatest trips ever. We
ate like kings.
The fact that we don't have health issues after that trip.
I may. Who knows?
I mean, my goodness. I mean, it was like we went to all Dickie Bennett's places. What was the place? You were all gung-ho to go to the
Commander's Palace.
Well,
the
brunch.
Emeralds.
We had to go to the brunch.
It was the Dickie. It was Bennett's. It was the Dickie Bennett's brunch with.
And I think you had eggs Benedict or something.
Oh, I love an eggs Benedict.
Yeah,
who doesn't?
And I'm like,
But they had the strawberry thing with the cream.
Yeah, I don't eat the strawberries.
My God, it was so good.
I never liked.
But you like it. You like an eggs Benedict.
Well, I'm not a big egg fan. You know what eggs are?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I know why you don't like them. I understand it.
I can eat them scrambled.
You know what I think with the eggs?
To me, the most disgusting thing is a runny egg.
I don't have a problem with that. Here's the thing I got to do with it. I got to just try not to think about what it is and just like the taste.
Well, you know what it is.
Of course, that's why I said I got to think about it.
You're eating like eggs.
You know what I did? I really I look back so fondly on all of those years.
Yes.
But I do remember after the Sunday show was done,
yes,
we would try to find a spigot with a little bit of beer.
Yes.
To have a taste.
Yes.
And we would end up in the champions room or something.
Yes, and and after an hour, we had the whole world's problems solved. Everything
you could figure it all out.
We figured it out.
Well,
but I did want to say one thing.
You can say anything you want.
The bacon here at Muirfield, and I don't know if the chef is listening.
Chef Steven.
Yeah, that guy's amazing. I mean, he could make shoe leather taste good. But they have the best bacon. So I did the salute to service MC.
I talked about
Jack
that
yesterday.
Yeah,
and they had this candied bacon. It was thick, and it was like candied. Is that what it was?
That's what we had. He brought it over. That we got it. I had.
Is that the most ridiculous bacon you ever had?
So it had sat there because they brought it over for Bob and Beam, and it had sat there. And then when I had saw you earlier, you were talking about the bacon, how it was candied, and I thought, my God, how can I let this sit here there any longer? I need to try it. And sure enough, it's like maple glazed, thick cut bacon.
So Bob and Beamer got food from them, but what do we get?
Well, think about this though.
If they're listening.
That's a great question.
If they're listening,
very good question.
We got Fish here who runs.
He's never been here.
He runs the radio station.
That's right.
This man runs the radio station.
Yep, it's his first memorial.
And he's here. He's dressed like he's ready to go play the back nine, and he's looking for some food.
Get some snacks. Who gets hurt?
Can we do a foodathon for Fish?
Yeah, we need to do that. I don't have a problem with that.
There's nothing wrong with a telethon for food.
You know, Beam used to be a caddy here.
Did he really?
You don't remember this?
No.
So, furthermore, not only because you never pay attention to the little people like I do. I always keep an eye out on the little people. You blow through them. You're highfalutin. You ignore everybody who isn't Jack and all of the great luminaries around here. Everybody else, you don't even see their faces. Can't even see the little
waving
people.
At all the people walking by.
Nicholas LaRocca. You'll go talk to him.
Yeah, I love Nick. And that you know what? I called that guy Nick. That's his stunt double. That's not really not Nicholas.
No, I know. I saw Nikos go through earlier.
Okay, I'm just saying that was a stunt double.
There was another.
I called him the other day. I go, Nicholas. He goes, I'm a stunt double.
You and I used to do live shots at Channel 10 right over there.
Yeah, we do them still.
Yep, right
on the hill.
On the hill. And Beam he worked the ball.
Oh, he was in the ball check.
So you remember we would say, hey, can you get us a couple of balls so we can play closest to the pin for a couple of shekels?
Yeah.
And Beam was the one who would supply us.
We still play that game. What we do is stand on the hill, we get the balls, and then we throw them and see who can go. Yeah, we should go over and do that.
I don't really want to hang out. I think more than this is too much. But
really?
I do think.
Thanks a lot.
No, but Beam was out there. Beam was out there. He was out there supplying us with balls. Do you remember this? Tiger Woods had his own set of balls.
Yes, he did. He was the only guy who brought them in and had TW on.
TW. That was it. Yeah. He had his own set of Titleists. Or was he at Nike at that point? I can't remember. But he would have his own set.
Well, they've got, right now we were over there. Now the PGA Tour brings the balls in.
Okay.
And there's like, I didn't even know there were that many different golf balls that people played. I thought pretty much everyone played Pro Vs, but they've got, oh my goodness, they probably got 10 different.
Yeah, it's been so long, so I guess I haven't even thought about how many manufacturers are out there. What do you got coming up today on the mothership?
So the Memorial Tournament is steep in tradition.
That's right.
And it's because that's what Jack Nicklaus wants. And one of the things that they do, the media center, the volunteers, and it's one of the cool things, they still manually put all the scores up.
That's right.
Now, it's one thing on the big scoreboard on the A team, but they have all 73 golfers' names up there, and they put every score up. And then the second that the second round is over, and once all the media leave, then they take all of them down. Whoever didn't make the cut is off the board, and then they redo the board. They have to reset it and put all of those numbers up. And the lady said that the two captains that run it said they'll be here till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
redoing the board so that when we media, and then she goes, rule number one is because we got the media and they're watching and they want to know. And so you think in a world where everything is electronic.
Nope.
Not here.
But that's the beauty of it.
That's because the bear wants it that way. I'll tell you, Jack, I said this the other day, and, we're in the media. We're supposed to be whatever, but I said this on the air, Bo. I said when I was sitting with Jack in the golf cart, I said on the scale of cool things that I've done in my career.
Yeah.
And, you're the same way. We have a list of things.
Yeah,
that we, like our trip to New Orleans.
That's great stuff, yeah.
But I said, this is right near the top, if not the top. Probably me interviewing Woody Hayes when he was living, but sitting with Jack Nicklaus in a golf cart
live on
shooting
television.
the breeze live on TV, and him joking and taking shots at me. I mean, is there anything better than that? There's no better golf. No one's ever going to break his record now.
No. I would say what you just described is how I feel right now. There's no greater moment for me than right now.
Because you got Jen here?
Jen's here. You're here.
Yeah.
Reese is here. Fish is here.
Fish
We're
is
at a time of our
This is great.
It's great seeing
Where's Scotty Vegas?
He's on the course. He's on the course, making things happen.
He's out handicapping.
Hey, we'll do this again. We got to do this again.
I'm here all week.
All right. Paul Feinbaum coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
This Friday and Saturday only, get a $10 coupon when you spend $100 or more in store. Coupon printed at checkout. Start redeeming next week. Fresh items are delivered daily, and there's easy pickup and delivery. Plus, pay the same low Meijer price and save even more with M-Perks when you shop in-store, online, and with every qualifying prescription filled at the Meijer Pharmacy. With so much under one roof, Meijer is the first and only stop you'll need. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here, and I want you to picture this. Cannonballs into the lake, s'mores at the fire pit, sleeping under the stars. Well, that could be you when you visit my friends at RCD RV. RCD is having its summer open house, and you don't want to miss it. Huge RV savings all month long in June. New travel trailers as low as $14,995. The area's widest selection, over 600 new and pre-owned RVs in stock. Start your summer adventure at RCD RV. Visit one of the 3 Central Ohio locations or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
One of the most important Buckeye football seasons ever is coming. The Fan is your home for all the news and interviews you need as fall camp approaches. Join us. We're a friendly bunch of degenerates. Your Buckeye station, The Fan.
I'm Kelly Burris, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. If you're a business owner, navigating through divorce presents unique challenges. You're thrust into a world where every penny you've earned is examined and your assets are on the line. These situations demand a tactical defense rooted in nuanced financial expertise. When your life's work is at stake, you need a partner who's as invested in your case as you are in your business.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Ah, the sweet sounds of spring. The crack of a bat, chorus of birds, and the glorious hum of a freshly tuned AC system. Don't sweat it. Let the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team keep you in tune with a spring AC checkup.
You're all set.
Schedule a visit today and stay cool all summer long. Call the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team, 614-333-9720, or schedule service on our website. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better AC.
Do you know someone struggling to figure out their mental health benefits? The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to help. Find us at insurance.ohio.gov/GETMHIA or call us at 855-438-6442. Don't wait. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office can help you figure out what mental health insurance benefits may be in their plan. Call us today at 855-438-6442.
Are you experiencing brain fog or difficulty building muscle? Feeling irritable and lacking energy? It might not be just your busy lifestyle. Many men worldwide suffer in silence from low testosterone. But there's hope. Introducing testosterone replacement therapy from Precision Health and Wellness. Imagine waking up with renewed vigor and confidence. Visit ChoosePrecisionHealth.com or call now to schedule a consultation. Reclaim your vitality today with testosterone replacement therapy from Precision Health and Wellness.
97.1 The Fan Memorial Leaderboard Update.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. This Memorial Tournament Leaderboard Update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit them today at bmifcu.org. The 49th Memorial rolls along at Muirfield Village. Matt Fitzpatrick leads at 3 under. He's through 7 on the day. Tom Hogue is 2 under. 7 golfers, including Shane Lowry and Keegan Bradley, are at 1 under. Patrick Cantlay is part of a group that are currently even par. Coming up in a few minutes, world number 1 Scotty Scheffler and Ludwig Oberg will begin their first round of play. Defending Memorial champion Victor Hovland and Xander Schauffele go around 10:40. The afternoon shift's going to be a good one. Ricky Fowler, Max Homa, 1 o'clock. Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, 1:20. And I'm contractually obligated to provide you this Matt Kuchar update. He's 2 over through 10. We'll have another live Memorial Tournament leaderboard update at the bottom of the next hour. And breaking sports news as it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medications. The solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Bo knows many people. He talks to the interesting ones on this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
Yeah, indeed it is. I'm broadcasting live. Day 1 of the Memorial Tournament out at Muirfield Village. It is a Thursday at 10:30. We get a little smarter at this time with our good buddy Paul Feinbaum, and he joins now on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Paul, we saw the official bracket for the college football playoff in terms of where they're going to be playing these games, and more specifically who they're going to be going against. You and I have talked many times about how the one thing that you don't ever want to challenge is the NFL. They're going to have to do it this year. How vigorously are they pursuing not having to do it in the future?
I think they're trying, Bo, but Roger Goodell, who used to be very tone sensitive to everyone, doesn't seem to care about anyone these days. You saw what happened on Christmas Day when he obliterated the NBA, and I just don't think he much cares anymore. The stakes are too high for network deals, as you saw yesterday with the NBA price, and I think they're going to keep doing this.
Yeah, and, you know, the thing that I was curious about is what he would do from a lineup. We knew that it was coming because, I mean, we've kind of ramrodded this 12-team playoff in pretty quickly, so you knew that it was coming. But he's playing the hits. He's giving you Kansas City, and he's giving you Houston, and then he's giving you the Steelers and the Ravens in those 2 windows that are going to go head-to-head, and then the broadcast will be on Turner for those on the college football side of things. This doesn't. The first time you go into a 12-team playoff, this does not feel to me, Paul, like the way you want to go at it.
No, I mean, if you saw maybe Carolina and Jacksonville in that early game, you would say maybe. But what it tells me too, Bo, and I'm sure you, is that the College Football Playoff Committee, which is heavily influenced by its main partner, ESPN, will likely put the 2 dog games, if there are games like that. We're talking probably the worst team, the worst 2 teams listed in the afternoon. I mean, why would you waste a Friday or Saturday night game opposite the Chiefs?
That's exactly it. And the other thing I thought about is, when you think about Pittsburgh and you think about Penn State, very likely Penn State, they very much could be a 12-team playoff team. That's why James Franklin still has a job, now that he has a 12-team playoff is kind of a way out. And then Texas. I mean, Texas feels like a team that's certainly going to be in a 12-team playoff, and you have the Houston Texans. So you can't go head-to-head with those type of teams against the NFL, so it'll be that Friday night slot and then the Saturday slot. I guess the question, when you were down at SEC Media Days talking with Sankey, did this come up? Did the calendar come up? You and I have talked before about, hey, man, we got to start this thing earlier or later to try to avoid these conflicts of the NFL. How was it a topic of conversation down there, and if so, how cognizant of it is he?
Well, certainly he's aware of it. I mean, he's at the vanguard of that conversation, but it never came up. Bo, the only thing that came up last week was all the stuff that we don't want to talk about. It was really, I mean, I talked to you last Thursday, literally, as I got off the plane, so maybe I was still somewhat euphoric. But it was fairly dreary. I mean, if it can be dreary at the beach, it was, because every conversation was about ADs complaining about not knowing anything and coaches complaining about not knowing their roster size. And Sankey tried to look ahead, but the CFP was not on the agenda. I'm sure 5 weeks from now, when Media Days commences in Dallas, it will be a much bigger topic, because I don't think anyone will want to talk about House NCAA then. But I think yesterday caught people by surprise, although everyone inside the Beltway knew this was coming. They knew the dates. They just didn't see it in black and white.
The one thing that jumped, of course, we all knew it was coming, but then when it gets dropped, then I think the rest of the world goes, wait, what are they doing? They're doing that? I think about ESPN, and I think, like, they're paying a great deal of money, right, for this association. And if you're ESPN, this is one of your most valuable commodities. It's not the NFL. I acknowledge that. You've mentioned that before. But at the same time, it's probably number two, and you're gonna lose it. You're giving up. So the influence ESPN will have over this, I would think, would be significant, Paul, in terms of getting a chance to have television shows they can actually broadcast that are unopposed by the National Football League.
No question. I mean, there's not much debate. The best two windows are going to be Friday night and Saturday night, and I don't even think either one of them are great windows. And I say this because we are looking at the Saturday and Friday night before Christmas. Bo, I mean, that is probably one of the busier holiday party nights of the year. And I know that nothing seems more important in college football except Christmas. And I don't know. I mean, we've all been to them. And, sure, TVs will be on. And if for whatever reason Ohio State lost two games and missed the bye, I'm sure everybody in Columbus will be tuned in, but the rest of the country probably won't be.
Yeah. No, it's a great point. I mean, the Christmas party part of it I didn't even considered. You're exactly right. Friday and Saturday are going to be nuts from that time. They got to get organized on that front. The news today, it looks like Dan Hurley is going to go and coach the Lakers. It was not lost on me that the last two national champions. Now, these opportunities were great. The Chargers with Herbert and the Lakers are the Lakers. But the last two national champions in the two sports we talk most about, those coaches both went to professional sports. When you were around coaches, the coaches down at the SEC meetings last week, what sense did you get of the job that they're doing now, and how close was it for what they actually signed up for? Did you sense frustration in where we are in the sport? Nobody here is going to feel sorry for them. They'll make a great deal of money, so it's part of it. But if there are opportunities, do you think you'll see more guys starting to jump when there are?
I do, but, I mean, we've seen – there's not a lot of precedent for this. I mean, Billy Donovan left Florida years ago to go to the NBA with the OKC. You saw Brad Stevens do it. But, I mean, these are two – I mean, Hurley is considered the best coach in college basketball. Harbaugh certainly was in the conversation. I think he will get blamed by the media on NIL. I don't think in these particular cases it really had much to do with it. I think of the three epic departures this year, Dick Saban, I think you can clearly put on NIL. I think Bobby Hurley is saying to himself, like, what in the world else can I do at UConn? I mean, he turned down Kentucky. But the Lakers are standalone. It reminds me a little bit of 25 years ago when Rick Pitino left behind a national championship team at Kentucky to go to the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, which led to the famous McHale, Parrish, and Bird aren't walking through that door. And Rick always lamented that, didn't he, Paul? That if he could do it over. I mean, he got to coach the Celtics, but at the same time, like, Kentucky's Camelot, right?
There have been bigger mistakes in college football in college basketball history, and I mentioned one. Howard Schnellenberger left Miami in the '80s to go to a league that never played a game.
That's right.
So I would say that was where. I mean, he left behind 5 national championships, but Pitino left behind a number of them. And yeah, I know he won a national championship, and he's still semi-relevant. But he left a lot behind, and he also really lost until recently when Mark Pope showed up. He was really estranged from the University of Kentucky.
Get you out of here on this one. The College World Series softball is going on this week. Game 1 last night, and then the baseball coming next week. This is something the SEC has put a great deal of effort into, these two sports. And it's something like 13 SEC teams, if you count Texas and Oklahoma, which will be SEC teams, qualified. When did that moment start when the SEC said, hey, we're going to be good at these two? Because the amount of money, the attendance, I see some of these baseball games that are on the SEC network, 12,000 people watching baseball games on a Friday night.
I think 15, 20 years ago, you started seeing big crowds in places like LSU with the great Skip Bertman down there. And I don't want to plug where I work, but I do believe when you look at the Big Ten Network, which started in 08 and the SEC in 14, these are big factors. When literally you have games on every night of the week, and that made it very accessible. It used to be cable access channels, Midwest Sports, whatever. Now it's so easy to consume, and I think that really helped. And by the way, the national championship in softball between Texas and Oklahoma, you can bet the SEC will claim the victory there.
I don't blame them. The Big Ten claims Tommy Frazier and Tom Osborne, so I think I'm sure they will claim it. Paul, always appreciate the conversation and the time, my friend.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Paul Feinbaum on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Hit Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends are here on the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Men, this is Jeff, and I'm one of the owners of Tri-State Men's Health, where we treat men's sexual health issues here in our area. I say our area because I'm from here, and I'm proud that the practices in the Tri-State region are leading the charge against erectile dysfunction, low testosterone, and other conditions that affect a man's sexual well-being. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in dealing with these problems. For ED, we have a variety of treatment options and treatment combinations that if you're like most men, you will get your sex life back. And I can say this with all confidence as we have the protocols that work in well over 90% of cases. If you're suffering with the fatigue, low sex drive, bad sleep, brain fog, and other symptoms of low testosterone, our treatment plans are highly effective with most men seeing significant changes in just a few weeks. So call Tri-State Men's Health today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations, just off 270 in Hilliard and near the Medical Mile in Westerville. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
I have done in my career literally thousands of joint replacements.
Meet Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, National Medical Director at QC Kinetics, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon who now advises patients try all they can do to avoid the knife and consider regenerative medicine.
I myself was able to continue skiing for 10 years after my knees started to be a problem because I accessed regenerative medicine.
Now, after 20 years of study, research, teaching, publications, and clinical experience, Dr. Scheinkup is regarded as one of America's true pioneers.
This is the future of medicine.
Dr. Scheinkup came to QC Kinetics after seeing what they were doing around the country, helping tens of thousands of patients get lasting relief from joint pain with no surgery and no drugs.
QC is so far ahead of the game in its science, its protocols, its people, its facilities.
Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
The Buckeye Show.
What were you guys yelling on the Braxpin play? The payback game against Virginia Tech.
You know what I said? Well, everybody said, he's back. He's back. That's what everybody was saying.
The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not a rate based on Terry, who keeps and makes the car behind them. Oh no, they're about to. Save with DriveWise in the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Need inspiration? Shop fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Ready for an amazing deal? BreezeLine's fiber-powered internet, starting at $19.99 per month, offers the reliability you deserve and security you can trust. Whether you're streaming, gaming, or working from home, we've got all your needs covered with speeds up to 1 gig and our 2-year price lock guarantee. This deal gets even better with 2 free months of internet, free equipment, and free Wi-Fi your way to protect against cyber threats. Act now. Terms and conditions apply. Offer expires July 8th, 2024. Learn more at breezeline.com.
The countdown to Miss Twin Peaks 2024 is on, and voting for Miss Popular is officially live. Head over to MissTwinPeaks2024.com to learn more about the contest and cast your 5 votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl.
If you're about to get engaged or ready to walk down the aisle, your true love deserves a true jeweler, the Diamond Seller.
As a true jeweler, we not only have designer collections to meet your bridal needs, but we also have talented in-house designers who can create something truly one of a kind. Visit the Diamond Cellar today.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Apex Plumbing Pros.
Earlier this morning, Ohio State announced it'll open its first 4 practices of preseason camp to fans. It's August 1st through the 4th. Tickets for each practice start at $50. Buckeyes are going to sell 750 tickets for each session with a limit of 10 tickets per order. Don't see that going wrong. Each practice is going to start at 9:15. Gates will open at 8:30. Tickets are actually on sale here in the next 10 minutes if you are so interested. Ohio State's also selling tickets to a luncheon with head coach Ryan Day. Of course, proceeds from the tickets and the sales of these tickets go to Ohio State's name, image, and likeness efforts in 2024 and beyond. Thing or not a thing?
So if you're wondering, what did it take for Ohio State to open its football practices? NIL. That's what it took. So I went to state school, so I won't pretend that this is going to be accurate. But 750, you said?
Yep.
At $50 a pop?
Oh, I was told no math today.
So that works out to around $38,000.
Pretty nice.
Per practice. And here's the deal. You could probably sell it for $100 a pop.
So that was my question.
And make
do these go on the secondary market?
Yes, they will. So Ohio State football, of course, they'll scalp tickets to a practice. No, it's a big thing. Like, they've never done this before, but they have to be more and more creative to fundraise than they've ever had to do before. And so this is an example of this. My hunch is the way that this is going is there are big money boosters who have given and given and given, and these guys have to come up with new creative ways to provide experiences that those people haven't already had. Like, do I think at some point there's going to be a booster on a team plane to Oregon? Yeah, I do. In fact, they should sell that if they haven't already. Yes, sell that experience, because that's how you're going to for people who have donated and donated and donated, and especially the whales who have donated huge, you have to give them something they don't already have. Like, being on the sideline of a football game ain't it anymore. You got to come up with something better. So you're going to see more and more of this type of stuff.
Brianna McKay of the Columbus Dispatch is reporting this morning crew president and GM Tim Bezbatchenko is set to accept a job with Black Knight Football. So I guess that's English Premier League's AFC Bournemouth.
Okay.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
I got to be honest with you. I haven't played a lot of FIFA with the boys being AFC Bournemouth.
Okay.
Or whatever you said it was.
Sure.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard that one much.
From that headline, Tim Bezbatchenko out with the Columbus Crew, or at least that's expected soon. Issa Tall, who's the current Crew assistant GM and director of player personnel and strategy, will take over Bezbatchenko's role when that actually happens.
Is that permanent, that she will get the job permanently? Or is that an interim basis?
That is TBD.
That's huge.
The initial reporting is Bezbatchenko out.
So Bezbatchenko was with
on his own.
Toronto FC and was brought down here by some of the leadership that was with Haslam Sports Group. They wanted the very best in the business, and so they got Bezbatchenko because he was that.
Yep.
And so they brought him down, and since the Haslam Edwards ownership, he has been the only man in charge of it. And so that is a monster change. Also, from his perspective, I get it. Like, what more can you do?
Yeah.
You've won MLS. You built the stadium. You've done the things that were the really big things. And in that profession, the English Premier League is the pinnacle.
That's it. That's the top of the sport.
So I don't blame Tim at all, but it's a significant loss, and probably my hunch is a very I'm guessing nobody saw it coming.
That, and
I would imagine it's surprising.
Nobody's probably thrilled.
No, and
with losing Bez, St. Francis de Sales guy as well.
That's correct. Yeah, I think even Brother Bone was tweeting about this and saying that he did not see it coming. So if Brother Bone didn't see it coming, nobody did.
I mean, they were just in the Continental Championship, taking on Pachuca, but the team that it is right now was built by Bez.
Yes.
So unfortunate, but he leaves it in a really great position. On Wednesday, NBA reporter Sam Amico said sources have told him Donovan Mitchell will sign the $200 million extension offer when it's put in front of him this July. NBA insider Mark Stein's reporting the Cavs like their chances to extend Mitchell. Quote, today I heard another succinct but well-placed forecast of optimism that the Cavaliers will succeed in convincing Donovan Mitchell to sign a long-term contract extension this offseason. Amico's also reporting that sources have said the Cavs would like to have a coach in place before the NBA draft. That's on June 26th. So likely they'll have the coach, the draft, the Mitchell extension if everything goes well. Thing or not a thing?
Well, and as you know, anytime you sign an extension, that means you play out that entire contract in the NBA on that extension.
Oh,
Nobody
all
ever
time,
gets traded
always.
Once they sign a long-term extension. We've seen that. I mean, that's never happened. It would behoove him financially to do it. And the other thing you have to remember is, what are his options? Like, where are you going to go at that? Everyone likes money. Okay, so who has cap space who could sign him, and then he would have to do a sign and trade. It'd
be messy.
The Cleveland situation's pretty good. You know? I mean, it's a pretty good young roster. Like, they're going to do something with Garland. I don't think there's any scenario where where they're both back.
No, they are.
So I think they'll do something with Garland, and they'll get somebody that fits a little better with what Mitchell is. I think those two really like each other personally. They just stylistically, they're the same type of player. So I think you'll see some movement there, and I think Garland will net you a pretty nice return in a trade, and you'll be one of the teams who can contend in the East. So it's hard to find a better situation than that around the league.
So I didn't know that this was a position. I know that center's a position, but Colts center Ryan Kelly is the vice president on the Players Union's executive committee.
Okay.
So he's the VP of the executive committee. I want to ask you, general manager of the Cleveland Browns.
Sure.
Is he the VP of the union, or is he a VP of a union's committee?
I think it's the former.
Okay. Well, he's not a fan of the expansion of the NFL season to 18 games. I got some bad news for him, but I will tell you what he said. Quote, 18 games sounds great when Rodgers saying it to Pat McAfee, but until you're the one that's going out there and putting the helmet on for 18 of those games, then come talk to me. I wish people would understand how hard it is to play 16. Then they added another one, adding, quote, and they get rid of preseason games. Well, okay, who's that going to hurt? The guys that don't have a shot, the guys that are the undrafted guys or late-round picks that need to go out there and prove themselves. I think that the fans see it like they don't watch the preseason games, but they have no idea what goes on inside the building, end quote. Thing or not a thing?
You know why it's not a thing? Because the NFL owners will give something trivial to the players, and then they will sign off on it. That's what they did the last
Free daycare?
That's how they went from 16 to 17. I mean, one of the things that was in that negotiation was stop testing for marijuana. Like, it's a nothing give back for ownership. Nothing. And then the get back for them is they get another thing to sell. So they'll do something. They'll say, like, well, we're going to go to 2 preseason games instead of 3, and then we'll go to 18. What's the difference? You're still playing 20 weeks. That's what they did the last time. They went from 16 to 17. They said, well, we're going to play 3 preseason games instead of 4. What difference does it make? You're playing 20 games either way. Well, half the roster doesn't even play in the preseason, obviously. Everybody knows that. But they'll do something trivial, and they're going to get to 18. They're going to get to 18. And they're going to get to the Super Bowl right before President's Day.
Yep.
Like, all of those things are happening. So buckle up and get ready for it. I mean, it just is what it is. All right, coming up next. Round 1 of the Memorial Tournament is underway. Get you up to speed where everybody stands. We got the NBA Finals starting tonight. All sorts of things to get to here in the final hour. Broadcasting live out at Muirfield Village at Jack's Place. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
An ex-jock and a very puffy, smooth-faced man. These are the first voices you should hear. Morning Juice. Your wake-up service.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here, and I want you to picture this. Cannonballs into the lake, s'mores at the fire pit, sleeping under the stars. Well, that could be you when you visit my friends at RCD RV. RCD is having its summer open house, and you don't want to miss it. Huge RV savings all month long in June. New travel trailers as low as $14,995. The area's widest selection, over 600 new and pre-owned RVs in stock. Start your summer adventure at RCD RV. Visit one of the 3 Central Ohio locations or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply.
Hi, this is Ron Frost with Ohio Mulch, and here's to Ohio Mulch celebrating 40 years of making the community a greener and more beautiful place, one garden at a time. Don't miss out on the opportunities to elevate your outdoor space and to be part of a journey towards the next 40 successful years. Check out our promotions online at ohiomulch.com.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply. Greener, greener, better.
Summer is finally here in Ohio, and the best part about summer is the fresh fruits and vegetables. And the best place to find them, well, it's one of my favorite places to eat. That is Bob Evans, because they're going to make sure they have the farm freshest ingredients right to your plate. They have 3 new salads: the steakhouse salad, the grilled chicken chop salad, and my favorite, the summer berry salad. Grilled chicken, strawberries, blueberries, pecans, feta cheese, everything you like, it's all there, and it's all fresh and delicious. So go check them out and learn more at bobevans.com.
Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. If you have open roles, chances are you're feeling this too. That's why you need Robert Half. Our specialized recruiting professionals engage with our proprietary AI to connect businesses of all sizes with highly skilled talent in finance and accounting, technology, marketing and creative, legal, and administrative and customer support. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
This Father's Day, help Dad be all he can be with a Father's Day gift from the Home Depot. Because he's not just Dad, he's the handyman of the house, the plumber in a pinch, and the emergency mechanic. For Father's Day, upgrade his gear with the Husky 270-piece mechanics tool set from the Home Depot. Just $99. Perfect in the hands of a pro or a dad. For every kind of dad, find the perfect gift this Father's Day at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Every shot, every goal, ESPN Bet has fans covered for the biggest moments on the road to the championship. The exclusive sportsbook of ESPN is the only place to find special offers and promotions from your favorite ESPN shows and personalities throughout the playoffs. New users can get a bet reset up to $1,000 in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Download ESPN Bet today. What a play. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells. Starting with baseball, down a run entering the ninth. Spencer Steer hit a 2-run shot, and Jonathan India hit a grand slam as the Reds scored 6 runs in the inning to rally past the Rockies 12-7. Cincinnati sweeps the 3-game set in Colorado. Next up, the Redlegs will be back at home tonight as they host the Cubs in the first of a 4-game series. In Cleveland, the Guardians-Royals game was postponed last night due to weather. Those two teams will wrap up the would-be 3-game set this afternoon at Progressive Field. First pitch is at 1:10. Some major news in the basketball world as ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski has reported that the Lakers are targeting UConn's Dan Hurley to be the franchise's next head coach. They're preparing a massive long-term contract offer to bring the back-to-back national champion coach to Los Angeles. Woj has also reported that Hurley has been at the forefront of LA's search this entire time since the beginning of the process. On the court, we have Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight in Boston between the Mavericks and Celtics. Tip-off is at 8:30.
I'm not sure our hosts understand what a scratch golfer is. So we're at the Memorial.
Sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling and Orthopedic One. The Fan.
After putting up with Dom Tiberi for a decade, the broadcast gods gave Bo these two. This is Bishop and Friends.
We're good?
Oh, we're good. We're
well,
cool.
We had luminaries here.
Yeah,
McNeil's here, so that was very
everybody
exciting.
who's anybody's out here at this thing.
Yeah.
First round of the Memorial rolls along. We want to do some scuttlebutt at 11, or do you want to do...
Let's set the tone.
Okay.
Day 1 of the Memorial Tournament is underway, broadcasting live at Jack's Place. Tradition unlike any other in Central Ohio. The official start of summer, unofficial start of summer, as I've coined it years ago.
No, we'll coin it official. We'll officially.
We could call it official.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a week later, and so that's fine. Official start of summer here in Central Ohio.
It's summer.
Nobody here. Plus, at this point, there's been some transfusions. Anybody who could argue.
I saw people at 10 o'clock walking around. I want that.
You got to be careful, kids. There's one getting sucked down right over there. You got to be careful. Because
they have them on tap now. Rothman was saying yesterday.
They're tapping them?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the thing with them, you got to be really careful because it reminds you a lot of like your time in college in the sense that you cannot taste the alcohol.
Past a certain point?
So that's the part that gets a little tricky.
Yep.
It's that side of it. But it's been a perfect. It's picture perfect. I thought it was going to be a little muggy. It's not. It's breezy.
No, it's cleared up
easy.
nicely.
It's nice. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be spectacular. We had Dan Sullivan on, the executive director of the Memorial Tournament, in the first hour of the program, and one of the things that he talked about, of course, Dan knew the exact amount of rain, and it was 1.71 inches of rain overnight, you would not know it when you walked in.
No.
You walked in and you saw a golf course that was ready to roll, absolutely, and they are underway here in a very, very big way. Within the last hour, we had that big run of tee times, some of the big key tee times. Wyndham Clark, Patrick Cantlay, that was at 10:05. So if you're on your way out here and you're trying to get to those 1 o'clock tee times, and I'll get to those in a second, as those guys go off, these guys are going to be coming back up 9 and heading out the back 9. So you're going to have an opportunity to see
them on 10.
Their back 9, or you can follow these other kind of gaggle of golfers through their front 9. So it's, as I mentioned, Wyndham Clark, Cantlay, then Schauffele and defending champion Victor Hovland. Then Scheffler went off at 10:30 with Ludwig Oberg, and then Billy Horschel and Will Zalatoris after that. And then in the 1 o'clock window, this is prime time. So this is as good as it gets. You got Ricky and Homa. They go off at 1 o'clock. Jay Day is at 1:10 with Justin Rose, who's won here. Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas at 1:20. And then Brian Harmon and Jordan Spieth at 1:30. 1:40 is Matsuyama and Morikawa. So that kind of gives you an idea of what the afternoon has in store for you in what is a perfect day out here. It's a little breezy, a little bit of cloud cover. I was looking at my own personal Doppler, and it was looking like it was going to be 80 and a little muggy. Not feeling it here.
No.
It looks great. It looks absolutely great. So that's where we stand on day one of the Memorial Tournament so far out here at Muirfield Village. Now, some scuttlebutt.
So the breaking news of the day, of the morning, I guess, and this is a tip of the cap to Bodie for pointing this out, because the NBA Finals are on tonight.
Yes.
It's Celtics-Mavericks Game 1 in Boston. We'll have
That's
that
right.
game for you on the Fan. The Los Angeles Lakers decided to just bust in and say, no, you're going to talk about us today, as it's been reported that Dan Hurley's got a gigantic long-term contract offer in front of him to leave UConn, where he's got a $7.5 million buyout, to coach the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
Again, long-term. Shams, Woj reporting that is in front of him. It hasn't been signed yet.
Okay.
Sam Amico, who's an NBA insider who reports for HoopsWire, who I reference with the Donovan Mitchell positivity, says that Hurley, he's hearing, is likely to stay at UConn. Because what happens when something like this comes out? Does UConn counter?
Can I just say this?
Sure.
I don't think any of this makes a damn bit of difference in the sense of who's coaching the Los Angeles Lakers. I think NBA head coach is borderline a meaningless job anymore. They all run the same stuff. There's not a whole lot of creativity to it. And whoever's coaching the Lakers is going to be coaching LeBron James.
Well, so that's what brings me to my next point. Let me put some red string on the corkboard for you.
Oh, Pepe Sylvia moment for us.
Because if LeBron wanted J.J. Redick, and if the front office, if the Buss family said, no, Dan Hurley.
Jeannie Buss and probably Rob Pelinka would be the two.
We're going to go Hurley.
Yeah.
You've just stiffed LeBron on his coaching choice. He can and will likely become a free agent at the end of this month. Now, most likely it's a restructure. He comes, he tears up his deal so they can afford another player is likely what's going to happen. But again, stick with me because of, red string corkboard. LeBron's now angered at the Los Angeles Lakers. What does he decide to do? Well, Cavaliers pick in the second round.
All right. That was fun.
We can't play music because YouTube won't let us, but coming home by, that comes to mind.
That was fun.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're here to do.
That was a fun exercise.
Thank you.
I reject any notion that anything the Los Angeles Lakers would do with their coach would not first be ran by LeBron James. And I'm sure that you're going to get Rich Paul and everybody else saying he had nothing to do with anything.
I can't wait.
I don't believe any of that. This is what I think happened. I think that they had a deal with J.J. Redick that fell apart last night. The reason I say that, but I guess what I was going to say is, the reason I started this by saying none of this means a damn thing, here's why it doesn't. And this is what I think is more interesting. I'm more interested in the reporting of it.
Yeah.
Because Shams Charania and Woj are dudes. This is their job. They're it's like Schefter, except there's two of them. And it's really critical that they're first and that they're accurate.
Yes.
And they one-time protege, so all of that's very fascinating to me. But I do not believe that Shams would report what he reported yesterday if he did not have it. That's not being made up. And he reported that J.J. Redick was going to be the next head coach of the Lakers. They were nearing an agreement. So if I'm doing Pepe Sylvia now, I would say what, in my view, probably happened connecting the dots. There was something that fell apart in the negotiations between the Lakers and Redick, last night. Because remember, we had Mike Breen talking about this. Mike Breen's on the record.
As it was a matter of, it was
like that he's going to be a great coach. Like that happened because the finals, again, as you said, they start tonight. So
Reddick's on the call.
And he's on the call. So they're going to have to address this. So you have that thing happening last night. So something happened that broke that off. We even had his report that Mike Krzyzewski was helping with it.
Yep.
Okay, so there's too much detail to it for that to all be nonsense. And I don't believe that he would report nonsense. He doesn't have a history of doing that. So something broke apart in the J.J. Redick Lakers conversation last night, which then the Lakers, now a desperate Lakers team, and I'm sure they kicked the tires on Dan Hurley from the beginning of the process.
I'm sure he'd had conversations. As soon as he wins the national championship, doesn't it feel like there are other programs, other teams
Well, Kentucky
reaching out?
tried hiring him.
Right, saying like, hey, what would it take?
So once that happens with Redick, you pivot and you go to Hurley and say, hey, I know before we were willing to offer you 6.5 or 7.5 or I don't even know what he makes at UConn, but more than you made at UConn. Well, we're willing to go to 12.
That's what it would take.
We're going to go to 12. $12 million a year to be the coach of the Lakers. And now, if you're Dan Hurley, you're thinking about it. And you say to yourself, well, maybe this would be a good time to go live in Southern California and get, if it's a 5-year deal, $60 million, let's just say, on it. Let's go get that done, and away we go. Maybe that, to me, that is how I believe this to have happened, just to connect the dots. Because I don't believe Shams would report something that was inaccurate, and I don't believe Woj would. So now you have Amico paratrooping in on this, and Sam's a Cleveland guy.
Yes.
So he did Amico Hoops. He used to do for USA Today. I'm not even sure he's affiliated with. I used to have him on years ago.
Hoops Wire is the site that he runs currently.
All right. So he is plugged. Not to the level of those two.
No, and certainly it would.
So he's reporting what now?
That. He is reporting that Hurley is likely to reject Los Angeles' offer and stay at UConn.
Do you remember what I said in the first hour?
You said a lot
about
of things.
This.
No,
I know, but I also said this is how you end up with David Blatt.
Well, there's truth there.
This is how the Lakers screwed up not one but two coaching hires. If this doesn't go their way, if they don't get Redick or Woj, and honestly, if you're Redick, can you even go back after that?
I'm not sure.
I don't know that you would want to.
I don't think you have any desire at this point to deal with that.
No,
if
I don't think so
if they proved incompetent during this, what am I wading into?
Right, and it's a bad look for you because you were offered the job, then all of a sudden, actually they wanted Hurley, and it's put out there that it wanted Hurley. So this is how you end up with, like, Kenny Atkinson sitting up there.
Yep.
And you're going, what? You know? I mean, this is how it happens. But I do think they have been, since Dr. Buss's passing, a pretty wildly dysfunctional organization. And to the point where outside of their location and their history and all of the greatness that is associated with that brand, there's not a whole lot there. They paid Kobe to be, at the end of his career, a great deal of money. They kind of limped through those seasons. They tried the rebuild with Magic Johnson. They had the Lonzo Ball draft, drafted him over Jason Tatum. Ball was second. They had Jason Tatum was third in that draft. And so they had Brandon Ingram at one point, and then, well, LeBron's going to go be a Laker, so then that happens. But then even that, they really botched the Anthony Davis deal. They traded Ingram for Davis because I'm sure LeBron was pressing them to do it.
LeBron wanted
rather than just wait for Davis to be a free agent, and then you could have brought him in and still kept Ingram. And the other thing for them is they're in a Western Conference that is brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely brutal. And, like, if you're them, honestly, if you are Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, I wonder if there's some of you that says, I wonder if there's a way we could do a sign and trade with LeBron and get some young assets in return there. Because there's no title in this future.
You can't go 7 against. They can't go 7 against the Nuggets.
No,
I don't know how they do 7 against the Timberwolves next season.
No.
Yeah, the series.
Who are you rooting for tonight? Game 1.
Mavericks.
I'm going to be in a wait and see mode. I get to see. I'm not convinced who I'm rooting for yet. I feel the same way about the NHL. My heart tells me I'm going to root for Bob on Saturday.
Same with that.
But I also have the pull of, like, Canada.
So that's going to be electric because it always is with
Is
Canada.
It in Miami or is it in Edmonton?
I feel like it's in Florida for games 1 and 2.
Okay.
But they'll still do Canada, and it'll crush.
Oh, it'll crush.
What I'm wondering is when I'm watching tonight, because there's the pull of greatness, right? Where you have Tatum and Brown, and you want the greatness to kind of be recognized. Same with Connor McDavid in Edmonton, but then there's the emotional. I still love Kyrie.
I do too, dude. Like, he's been a weirdo for a while.
I still love Sergei Bobrovsky. Like, they're weirdos, but like I'm thankful for what they did for my organizations.
They provided. I mean, sometimes people up in Cleveland want to gloss over the shot.
You can't,
and because it's people there even have a complicated relationship with LeBron. But the stuff with Kyrie is much more straightforward. Like, LeBron wanted to trade him. That's what led to him demanding a trade. I mean, it's kind of that simple.
That's not what LeBron said.
I know, but that's the real truth of it. I know we do that on Tuesday, but that's the real truth. And the Blue Jackets weren't willing to pay Bob. They didn't want to pay him.
I still think I will defend that organization for that decision. Not much I'm defending them about, but that one I'm okay with.
Yeah, they were banking that they had goaltending that was
They
ready.
thought they had stuff in the pipeline, and they didn't have anything around him, much like what Florida has put around Bob. Like, that Florida Panthers team's a bunch of all-stars. You're not getting that in Columbus.
No, not anytime soon. All right, we continue to broadcast live out here at the Memorial Tournament at Jack's Place, Muirfield Village. We'll do a little higher or lower coming up next. Coming up at 11:33, NIL in high school. Buckle in. It's coming. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Today's Muirfield Moment is sponsored by the Waterworks. The 1984 Memorial Tournament crowned its first ever two-time champion, none other than the Golden Bear himself, Jack Nicklaus. Both Nicklaus and Andy Bean, the runner-up that year, tied the tournament record with 280 strokes in regulation, which set up a sudden death playoff for the ages, the Memorial's first since the inaugural tournament in 1976. Bean missed a gimme three-footer for par on 17, the third playoff hole of the match, and watched as the trophy fell into Nicklaus's hands. All week long, the weather had been immaculate, which resulted in the largest crowd Muirfield has ever seen. The crowd sizes prompted the Memorial Executive Committee for the first time ever to establish a limit on badge sales for the 1985 tournament. This Muirfield Moment is brought to you by the pros at the Waterworks. From plumbing and drain issues to heating and cooling, the Waterworks is your ace in the hole. Scheduled today at thewaterworks.com.
At the James at Ohio State, you're choosing the experts who understand there is no routine cancer, where your care is delivered by a highly specialized team dedicated to studying and treating just one type of cancer, yours, and where 1,700 scientists are working on new treatments and new hope for every form of cancer. All at the region's only comprehensive cancer center, designated by the National Cancer Institute. You didn't choose cancer, but the choice of where to treat it is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Join us for Gambling Things, Fantasy Sports, Gambling Things, and most importantly, Gambling Things. Hollywood Casinos on the Money, Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
The Fan.
Score a goal with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the checking account that rewards you for supporting the crew. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, official credit union of the Columbus Crew. Federally insured by NCUA.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
More and more people are falling into problem gambling. Mary Haven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today.
Hey there, I'm Brad. I'm about to win the Tuesday Night Bowling League Championship. Strike. I'm also a highway worker for the Ohio Department of Transportation. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can bowl the winning strike with my buddies.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Do you know someone struggling to figure out their mental health benefits?
the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to help. Find us at insurance.ohio.gov/GETMHIA or call us at 855-438-6442. Don't wait. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office can help you figure out what mental health insurance benefits may be in their plan. Call us today at 855-438-6442.
Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage, available at Navage.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud. After some heavy rain last night, high pressure is building on in. Looks like a dry and sunny afternoon for you. Today, we're going 80 for the high temperature. Tonight, dropping down to the mid-60s. There is a 20% chance of a pop-up shower late this evening. As we head into your Friday, look for partly to mostly sunny skies with highs around 75. That's your latest forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Tipico Sportsbook is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Bishop & Friends. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Pull up a stool and ask the bartender for something neat, because Uncle Bo is on the radio. This is Bishop & Friends.
And broadcasting live out here at the Memorial Tournament. Round 1, Muirfield Village is underway, and the playoff action is here. Not a more rewarding sports book in the game than Tipico. Get ready to bet on the biggest games of the year with the playoff hoops and the hockey. They start almost every other night, including tonight. If you want to make the most of every game, you've got to bet with Tipico. You get up to 5% cash back on your bets. Enjoy the highest cash back in the industry with the most rewarding sports book. Claim the new sign-up bonus now. Get $150 in protected bets when you deposit $100. Sign up now and enter the promo code TheFan150 code to get your bonus. Download Tipico Sportsbook app today. Must be 21 or older, physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions do apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER for more on that. And we have some breaking news on the football side of things, Mr. Reese.
ESPN's Pete Thamel says Toledo is hiring Perry Eliano to be the school's new cornerbacks coach. He's, of course, the safeties coach at Ohio State for a season? 2 seasons. 2022. He's Cincinnati and New Mexico are other stops for Eliano, but that leaves a vacancy now, if this reporting is to be true on Ohio State's coaching staff.
I mean, God, we're dealing with a lot of this. If this reporting is to be true, I mean, Thamel, that's like a Woj Shams type thing.
Talk about, who we trust in terms of reporting.
Yeah.
It's when it's sources telling him. And
now, did we? Yeah, it is. All right. So, Eliano, cornerback coach, former assistant at Ohio State.
Now former.
No. Coached the safeties at Ohio State the past 2 seasons.
Especially in June, because we heard from Ryan Day, it would have been Wednesday, how busy this month is. I mean, they're doing camps right now. They announced earlier this morning that they're going to be selling tickets to their first 4 practices of fall camp in August.
So
Not the best time.
This is what I thought. As we're going through it, sometimes you have these moments where your lines get crossed. So he was already relieved of duties. So he was told, this was a couple of months ago, that he would not be retained.
Oh, that's right.
In 2024. Look, there's a lot going on. You haven't had a transfusion yet, but there's a lot going on. So he was already
checked one into me. He was already off the staff.
Yeah, he's not here. He's not here at the moment. So that's one of those things where you see it, and look, they got 65 assistants over there. It's fine. Everything's going to be.
Aren't they about to get more?
I could get more, but that's that. So this is a guy who was looking for a job. He wasn't leaving. Not leaving Ohio State to go there. So this is a man looking for a job. Is what that was. So that's good there. Let's go for a little higher or lower.
Bishop and Friends present Higher or Lower.
Today's higher or lower comes to us from Rick Golfs. He's on our X at Top 100 Rick, and I found this with past years being out here at the Memorial. I tried to find something that was either golf or Ohio related. Like I think we did Ohio roller coasters.
Yeah.
I think one year we did Ohio vacation spots.
Sure.
And in my searching, I found this Rick Golfs, who in 2023 he visited 121 new golf courses around the world and had pictures of his 10 favorite foods at 121 golf courses. So he did the ranking for us. And, of course, you will recognize one of them on this list. But we'll start with number 1. And, again, he did this all over the world.
Yep.
So a lot of golf, a lot of eating for this guy, which Doesn't sound like it's a bad job. But at number 1, the egg rice at Tokyo Classic Club. A raw egg on hot rice. Higher or lower for that?
Who bankrolled this? I mean, this isn't some guy going around playing a bunch of munis in Ohio. Like, this is a guy, the number 1 on this list is Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't cheap, Coach. So you're getting on these places, and then you're going to be able to do it. So you said a raw egg on hot rice. So the rice would have to be very, very, it's probably piping, and so it's going to cook it when it hits it.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't for me.
Nope.
But it feels sort of just like fried rice.
Yeah, that's where my head went when I first saw this.
I would say that it must be some transformative fried rice.
And when you are, I guess post round, this would be just carbo loading, and then something to coat your stomach.
You would not. No. So here's what I would say: there's really only one acceptable food to eat on the golf course, and that is a hot dog or a brat.
A sandwich.
I don't even think sandwich because I can't have the loose stuff.
Okay.
You could probably do some sort of a pocket, but even that can be a mess. Like, you don't want it all over you.
That's true.
Like Chef Steven brought us these lovely breakfast burritos this morning.
Brick.
That's a heavy baby right there. Like, quite honestly, I could cut that into 4 and I would be plenty full. That would be something that I could do half of that and then play. I'm not eating a raw egg and rice.
No.
During a round.
No, but after.
So this is a post-round thing, and it's a tough sell for me. I would go lower. I think lower on that one.
All right, at number 2, the burger at Ben's Porch at Sand Hills. So it
Does
looks
he have some details on this burger?
Yeah, it's beef, seasoned.
Is this a smash burger, or does it look like a steakhouse burger?
It's a steakhouse burger with pimento cheese on it. And it's a small slider.
I'm going to be honest with you. I enjoy a pimento cheese. I enjoy a pimento cheese sandwich, especially the ones that I enjoy, not the ones at Augusta, which is like the white bread with just the pimento cheese, that's it. But if you give me a white bread, freshly sliced ham, pimento cheese, tomato, that's winning. That's a big win. I have a feeling pimento cheese would probably be pretty good on a burger.
Yeah.
But if it's a steakhouse burger, I think the smash burger is better.
It does feel like with some of these, and the further we get down this list, there's going to be a lot of experimenting that people just did, and they say, well, this could stick.
Well, you're trying to make your own.
You got to be unique, right?
Yeah, and it's just like you have to have like a specific thing that's just for your place, that's special. So that's probably the challenge there.
So what I really wanted to get to on this was or what I wanted to see from this, because, again, Rick Golfs on Twitter at Top100Rick did 121 golf courses in 2023, and he ranked his 10 best eats. At number 3, a milkshake. Really? The milkshake at Muirfield Village is simply the best shake ever. So higher or lower for Jack's milkshake at 3?
It's the simplicity of the milkshake. Now, if I told you what was in it, I would be vaporized. Like, that's what would happen. If I set it out here on the grounds, because I've seen them make it.
Uh-huh.
When I was at Channel 10, I did a story on how they made it.
Could you have the camera, like, where did you have to put the camera?
Oh, God, no. I wasn't shooting the ingredients. I wasn't shooting any of it.
What was your B-roll?
But I saw it.
Okay.
It's like Jerry Seinfeld on the Comedians in Cars, like a lot of stirring.
Sure.
That was the B-roll.
A lot of mixing and sipping.
That's right. The great Tim Flaherty shot it for me at Channel 10. So, it's the simplicity of the milkshake. And I think that's why it is so revered here. Because when you get one after a round, and boy, if you try to suck one down, it's a full day.
Yes.
Because it's much like this.
That's not something you can have.
It's a big boy. And there's a viscosity to it. You almost need a spoon.
It's a brick.
So, but I think the reason that they're so revered by the players and by the members and by everyone, and I've probably had a dozen or 15 of them through the years. Every time I play here, I get one. In the old days, I would even grab one for like the boys as like a to-go and then serve that up to them. It's because it's like drinking your youth. It's like you're a kid again, man. Like, who orders a milkshake anymore? You rarely see it. And especially the specific simplicity and the perfection of their milkshake. Everyone tries to get all fancy with it. It's the simplicity that makes it perfect. It's like a drink of your youth. That's why it is revered. Tiger would talk about it every year when he would get here. Justin Thomas talks about it every year when he's getting here. Because you don't think to do it for yourself anymore. But if somebody hands you one, you drink it. And you go, God, that's great. Why don't I do this more often?
All right, so we're gonna from one extreme to the next. At 4,
it's a great Tom Sprouse.
The caviar spread at Scottsdale National.
Have you ever had caviar?
No.
Our engagement trip to wine country, we were at a fancy place, and they had the beluga. The great Chris Quinn is here. I mean, now we're talking. This is every. I mean, they're both Chris Quinns are here. Well, what a win! What a win! Look at this guy. How you doing? Good to see you,
gentlemen.
How are you doing, man? Good to see you. This is great. Hey, look here. Pop this on just for a couple minutes. Chris Quinn, assistant coach, Miami Heat, Notre Dame, great. Dublin, great. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Yeah,
out here with the Pops?
Yeah, we just got in from Miami late last night. My 13-year-old son's fired up to see some golf.
What part of your youth does this represent? Like this tournament in this
is
town?
Like as far as I can remember, basically. You know, I moved to Columbus, Dublin in 4th grade.
Yeah. 4th
grade through high school, obviously. And this was it. This was like one of the most exciting weeks of the year. My friends and I would come out, practice rounds, Sunday rounds, all the above, and we'd have a blast just following along.
I always tabbed at the unofficial start of summer in Central Ohio. It's like once this happens, now we go.
Yeah.
Pools are open.
Yes.
Let's live a little bit.
It's Memorial Day, and then it's the tournament, and then it's go time.
That was it.
Yeah.
Hey, man, good seeing you.
Good to see you, too. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Hey, you, too, by the way. Good to see you as well. Both Chris Quinns here. This is big-time luminaries there. That was – so, Chris, yeah, I haven't told this on air, but my oldest loves – yeah, I'll see it. Well, he loves Kentucky, and Tyler Hero's his favorite player. So for his birthday one year, a couple years ago, I got him really great seats at the Cavs for Heat Cavs. And Chris was there, and so we said hi to Chris, and I've known his dad forever, and as long as I've been around here, and Chris is such a good dude and an up-and-comer. We had talked about him maybe even for the Cavs job this year. That could happen. So we'll see.
I was just going to say,
I didn't want to put him on the spot.
Lakers. Come on.
Yeah. Didn't want to put him on the spot. Like, I think the last thing you want is that when you're seeing friends at a golf tournament. But his name has been bandied about for the Lakers and for the Cavs.
And it will be as long as,
yeah. He's been on Spo's staff for a long time. He played for the Heat, was a stud at Notre Dame, and then
talk about continuity on franchises.
Right.
That is that.
So Chris goes, well, do you want an autograph? And so they got Peyton an autographed Tyler Hero jersey, and Tyler would always say, when he was at Kentucky, he'd say, I'm a bucket. And so he inscribed it to Peyton, NBC, keep being a bucket. Peyton, keep being a bucket, Tyler Hero. So, like, I videoed it, him, like, opening it, and it was awesome. So, great people. And those are the type of people you see out here. What was the last thing you asked me about? There was some food thing?
There's the caviar.
Oh, beluga caviar. Had it once, sucked.
Yeah, I've been offered it at wine tastings, and I'm not going to pair that.
It was about.
No, thank you.
I want to say it was one of those things that I'm embarrassed to say how much it cost, but it was and it comes out. It was just ultra salty with an off-putting texture. No thanks at all. Many of you may be saying no thanks to NIL at the high school level for now, but I'm guessing don't put a lot of stock into that. I think you're going to see some big changes here coming, and we'll explain that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. So give your friends something to look at and make this a summer to share and save. With a capable Kia SUV like the Sorento, Sportage, Seltos, or Telluride, or a powerful sedan like the fun-to-drive Forte, each backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. And for a limited time, get 1.9% APR for 48 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged 2024 Sportage and Sorento models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 48 months from Kia Finance, subject to credit approval for purchase of a new 2024 Sportage or Sorrento. Excludes hybrids and PHEVs. $21.65 per month per 1,000 financed at 48 months. 1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 7/8/24. Limited inventory. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See retailer for details.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
The Mavs and Celtics battle for the title. Who will win? Will Tatum and Brown make it look easy? Will Kyrie dribble the ball off the face of the earth? Let's find out together. Listen to ESPN Radio's coverage of the NBA Finals right here on The Fan.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Good evening, this is your captain speaking. Our GPS flight tracker is on the fritz tonight, so we will be flying blind.
Here in Ohio, if you qualify for a medical cannabis card but still buy recreational cannabis, you're also flying blind, missing out on benefits and tax savings. Find your way to Veriheal.com to see if you pre-qualify for your medical cannabis card in less than 5 minutes. Veriheal. Veriheal.com.
Do you know someone struggling to figure out their mental health benefits? The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to help. Find us at insurance.ohio.gov/GETMHIA or call us at 855-438-6442. Don't wait. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office can help you figure out what mental health insurance benefits may be in their plan. Call us today at 855-438-6442.
The delicious ice-cold taste of Dr. Pepper has a lasting effect on people. Lindsay from Sacramento said,
Pro tip, 40 degrees is the perfect temperature for an ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
Why is 40 degrees the perfect temperature for Dr. Pepper? We brought in Sue from Duluth, Minnesota to tell us.
Oh, yeah, I know a thing or two about cold. Oh, that right there is the perfect kind of ice-cold for Dr. Pepper. I'd share that with my friend Nancy. She likes Dr. Pepper, too, you know. My coldest...
All right, that'll be all, Sue. Having a perfect temperature for your Dr. Pepper? It's a Pepper thing. Inspired by real fan posts.
97.1 The Fan Memorial Leaderboard Update.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. This Memorial Tournament Leaderboard Update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit them today at bmifcu.org. The first round of the Memorial is underway out at Muirfield Village. Tom Hodge is the leader at 3 under. He's through 8 on the day. World number 1 Scotty Scheffler's through 3, but is 1 back of the lead at 2 under. Nick Dunlap, Keegan Bradley, and Tom Kim are also 2 under. Defending champion Victor Hovland's 1 under through 5. He's paired with Xander Schauffele, who's also at -1. Matt Kuchar and Ben Ahn are at 1 over. Closer to noon, Sahith Theegala and Russell Henley will begin their first round. Ricky Fowler, Max Homa go at 1 o'clock. Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas will start around 1:20 today. Even with the smaller 74-person field, every pairing's going from 1. Skip Mossick's got your next leaderboard update at the bottom of the next hour and breaking sports news as it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medications. The solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
We're live out at Muirfield Golf Club, round 1 of the Memorial, and see, this is what happens. Live show, live events. We're doing it live, kids.
Vegas. Who was Vegas? Who got us? Scotty said. Well, easy.
Back here snipping chords, guys.
We got a hot mic. We'll do it live. I'll write it.
Yeah, and we'll do it live.
Vegas arrogantly said as he was leaving, we haven't had any issues. No, it well.
How long an issue approaches?
Oh God, the Iceman cometh.
Him and
Holy
Rothman
cow.
on from.
I mean, you
noon
guys
to 3 today.
You're like, I mean, now you're out here hanging with AR. You guys honorary mayors out here with Dom. Full run of the place.
They got the tap of the infusions, like it was just for them. Cups.
That's right.
Cups to the broadcast
That's
booth.
exactly right. Broadcasting live out here at Jack's Place. Round 1 of the Memorial Tournament is underway. Always a special time of year in Central Ohio, and flat out awesome. And we'll be here through 3 o'clock. We'll be back here tomorrow as well. You just heard kind of the leaderboard. That big grouping of players is around 1 o'clock. Is where a lot of these things are going to happen, and it's a see and be seen type of place. I mean, we've had a lot of people come through. There's so many familiar faces that you see. It was fun having Chris Quinn on just for a second.
New Cavs head coach?
I'm not gonna. I've known him a long time.
You don't have to. I'll do it.
I don't need to make headlines with him when I put him on a headset. But yeah, I mean, he's been bandied about for the Cavs and even the Lakers. So he's been a long time valued, trusted assistant with Spo down in Miami, and was a player with the Heat, and has learned that Heat culture firsthand. And a guy that I'd be shocked if he's not coaching very soon in the NBA. Had him pop by, and George from GV Artwork coming through as well. So those guys up in Cleveland, good to see them guys. Those guys pop through here. So yeah, it's a fun time out here. Now, one of the things that I don't know how many of you are going to think is fun is the idea of high school athletes making money off of name, image, and likeness. I have no problem with it. I think the internet changed it. When you got to the point where kids could make millions of dollars doing YouTube reviews of toys, at that point, like, what's stopping anybody? And by the way, it's not like recruiting hasn't been around in Ohio high school football for ever, or high school basketball as well. But it's come to a head in the last couple of years on the basketball side of things. And this kid that I've referenced several times on the show named Darren Peterson, who's an Akron kid who played at Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy up there his first 2 years of high school, signed a 7-figure endorsement deal with Adidas going into his junior year of high school. So the play from Adidas of this is pretty straightforward. Let's get him young. They could probably push him to an Adidas school, so he go to Kansas, represent Adidas there, and then in the NBA, he's wearing Adidas. So that's the bet that they're making on this kid. I've said before, I'll say it again, he's the best high school basketball player I've ever seen live. Full stop. He's a stunning talent. So last year, because Ohio did not have an ability for you to make NIL as a high school player, he went to Huntington Prep to play high school basketball. So he played his junior season down there. So that, I think, was kind of the start of this. Well, but he's not the only one. And Sonny Johnson, who coaches up at Garfield Heights in the Cleveland area, and his son, who is committed to Ohio State, who is just finished, I believe, his sophomore year at Garfield Heights, he tweeted this yesterday. Darren Peterson left Ohio. Jerry Easter, who's a Toledo kid, left Ohio. He's now playing in Indiana at a prep school. Florida is now the 31st state to approve NIL. After this year, I have a decision to make with my son, Ohio. Let's go. And he said, why is Ohio always late? That's a real one.
Yeah.
That's real. And it's one of those things where the OHSAA, which has been drugged through the mud a lot and sometimes justifiably over the last decade or so, I think sometimes they get a little bit of a bad rap, but I've been very critical. I know Bob's been very critical through the years of some of the things that they do, and this is a for-profit venture, and they make a lot of money. This will not affect their bottom dollar at all. And it is something that is coming around the country, and you cannot risk. I mean, you think about the St. Clair kid from Bell Fountain.
Highest ranked quarterback prospect in the country.
Yes, and probably the highest ranked Ohio quarterback prospect since Schleister. And you're talking about it's probably not going to affect him, but the next kid that's that, or these basketball kids, if you can't make it here, you're going to go somewhere else to make it. The money is so big, and especially on the basketball side, because in hoops, you can identify talent young.
Yep.
I saw this Peterson kid play when he was 14. I said, that kid's a pro. And if you haven't seen a kid young that's a pro, trust me when I tell you, they're different. It's noticeable.
And I think for the OHSAA, fear is one of those things that's keeping them from bleeding, if that makes sense, where who is going to regulate, or who of the schools?
Nobody.
then they just let it. And I think it's fear of that would be holding anybody back.
Look, in this state, in Division I and Division II, how many state champions in those two classifications are private schools in the last decade? In football and boys basketball?
Probably most.
The majority.
Yep.
You telling me that every kid, like St. Ed's is one of the last two Division I's, I think, maybe the last three.
Sounds right.
I mean, I said it sort of emphatically.
Yeah, that's all right.
I know they've won a couple recently. You telling me all those kids are from Lakewood, Ohio?
Yeah.
You telling me every kid who plays at Hoban is from Akron? What are we talking about? Sean Crable's a Massillon legend. His kid went to Hoban to play football. You telling me he wasn't incentivized to do so?
Just a little bit. Why he would leave the legacy.
By the way, you're leaving Massillon where they incentivize you well to play football. Remember last year the quarterback at Massillon, they tried making him ineligible for a game because he was a kid from Copley, which is a surrounding town. They made him ineligible for a couple of games.
Who's digging for that information?
Well, probably Hoban.
Probably Hoban.
Which, by the way, the rules don't apply to them. Because they can get whoever they want because it's
at
private.
Any time, yeah.
So this is already out of control. It's already been out of control forever. There's no change in it. This would change it none, and now you don't lose your kids.
That's the biggest
now
thing.
Darren Peterson can have the experience that LeBron James had, leading, at the time, CVCA, a really small, hard to wrap your head around that they had him, school. I mean, he would have won state championships. And he would have had the experiences LeBron had, and instead he's playing for Huntington Prep. Who gets hurt? Doesn't come out of your end.
It's baffling the molasses-like speed that some of these institutions operate on.
You got to go
because at this point there is no time to be fearful.
No.
There's no time to waste for this because you are losing kids every single year,
and there will be more.
And I think that will be Ohio might be one of the last and dragged kicking and screaming into high school name, image, and likeness because the question that will come up: who's going to regulate this?
Yeah, you don't worry about the regulation because
I agree.
It's on the parents. It's not on you. We hit three things on a Thursday. Up next, Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. You know, we do a segment on the show every week called Pressure, but that's about sports. What about the pressure your feet endure every day? I know mine did. When I went to the Good Feet store, I learned I was out of line. I joked, I already know that. They said, no, physically, my feet weren't being supported the right way. So when I went to the store on Polaris Parkway, they also have one on Stringtown Road, I took all the time I needed to walk around the store to see what felt and fit the best in my shoes. Once I had them in, my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store, my lower back pain went away. What a feeling. You need to get your free personalized fitting by one of their arch support specialists. For arch supports to be effective, they require a precision fit. That's why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. You like them? You can wear them home. You have nothing to lose but the pain. So go to goodfeet.com today or go in and try the Good Feet feeling. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief, all from the Good Feet store.
There's a little slice of heaven in a country road's escape. Pure perfection in the form of uncrowded nature. Over 1.5 million acres of parks and public lands. From mountain biking to stargazing. Churning white water to quiet trout streams far off the grid. Almost heaven is down to earth in West Virginia. Plan your getaway now at wvtourism.com.
The Oilers and Panthers battle for Lord Stanley's jug.
Cup. It's a cup.
Sorry, I was thinking of the little brown cup.
No, that's a jug, not a cup.
Catch all the action on The Fan or ESPN Columbus on the Fan app.
Good job.
Are you not able to enjoy the summer as much as you want because of joint pain? This is the time of year for being outdoors. It's the best, but not if your knees, shoulders, hips, or back are hurting. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. Call them today. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's biologics and help restore restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk, run, hike, play golf, move, swim, all pain-free. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Sheencup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. They have locations in Columbus, in both Gahanna and Dublin. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. So go check them out at QC Kinetics/Columbus or give them a call, 380-208-4544.
So, you've noticed something wrong with your roof. You don't know where to begin. And the thought of finding the right company to handle this important piece of your home is a bit overwhelming. Let Newman Roofing make it easy for you. First, start with a company who has built a trustworthy reputation for the last 32 years. We've got you covered. Then, when you ask us what makes us different from other roofing companies, we can tell you 3 things: our policies, customer experience, and most importantly, our people. At Newman Roofing, we have a team of professionals that take pride in their work, focusing on making sure every single question you ask gets answered thoroughly and thoughtfully, every step of the way. After all, we're here to support you, so you understand what's going on with your roof and you can make the best decision to fit your needs. Let us be the difference for you. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Want to know anything about the fans' contests, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, what do we have on the poll today, Rick?
Oh, the Daily Fan Poll asks, how many rounds of the Memorial Tournament will you attend? None, 1, 2, or 3, all 4 are your options. 78% say none. Guys, get out here.
I think the one thing I would say, and I mean, obviously, as you can probably tell from the tone of this show, the previous show, and the one that will follow, is this is near and dear to all of our heart. And I think for some, there is this thinking that it's not accessible, that it's highfalutin, that it's those type of things. It's a private country.
Golf does have that.
But this is not that.
I agree.
This ain't that. So if that is any reason why you'd be holding off, that ain't it.
And
everyone's here to have a good time.
I would say this again: if you've never been
saw
out,
Paul Skeens,
right? I'll get to that in a sec. If you do want to pick a day, do a Thursday, do a Friday, take the next day off, and just experience one of the opening rounds because you've got gorgeous weather right now.
Next
you have a day off of work. You're playing a little bit of hooky.
Yep.
Nobody loses. Everybody wins that.
You're stacking dubs at that point. All right, let's hit 3 things.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Custom Air. Custom Air. Custom Solutions. Custom Comfort.
All right, number 1 for me. So I was at the course by 8 o'clock, and I was in the merch tent around 8:30 because I always like to get the boys a little something from here, little souvenirs, those type of things, a little swag. So I was in the merch tent, and I am frantically calling my wife and my son, both of whom have cellular telephones, and was calling them. No answer.
Are they still at Cedar Point?
So no, they're home.
Or the lake.
They were at the lake. They got home last night. So NBC finally calls me back and goes, "Dad, are you okay? Is everything okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I just need to know what size beams he is because he vacillates between a small and a medium depending on the brand and the use sizes." I said, "What's going on there?" He goes, "I just got up." I said, "Is your mother still sleeping?" "Yeah." At 8:30?
Summertime.
What in the hell has gone on? They were away from me for like 4 days, and it's just one bad habit after another.
It's the summertime, and you are gone.
I'm gone, so there's no one holding anybody accountable.
It's lawless. Has Buddy Garrity been fed?
That's what I said.
So I
said, he goes, "What do you want me to do?" I said, it's 8:30. You need to take Buddy out, and you need to feed him right now. That's job 1.
Do we have confirmation that
So
happened?
I hear him saying, "Mom, Dad's on the phone. He says get up," which that goes over well.
Oh, that's great.
And so I hear her say, "Well, what time is it?" And he goes, 8:30, and I hear her say, oh, geez. Yeah, oh, geez.
Was it a dramatic oh, geez? Like, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. I don't know if she did, but what do we do?
First thing for me, you pointed out somebody, because, again, dignitaries, luminaries, just everybody who's anybody's walked past us.
That's right.
In the last 3 hours, a dead ringer for Pittsburgh Pirates rookie sensation Paul Skeens walked by. And you threw it out there, and it took me a minute. I'm like, there's no way, because he was... he made Ohtani look silly yesterday, and I'm like, because then I start like triangulating it. I'm like, Pittsburgh to Columbus, what's that drive time like? Like, he could, but he's not here. No Paul Skeens here.
Well, here's what I would say, though. It was close enough that it would look like, and I would also say, if you are that guy, it feels like you're leaning into
Lean way into it.
I feel like
it's a popular look. You're tall, mustache, baseball cap, tattoos on the arm. That wins in 2024.
I agree. I think that's very possible. We were saying a lot of people probably coming out for those 1 o'clock tee times. People may be coming out tomorrow. Number 2 for me, ladies, if you've not been, it's really hilly. Wear comfortable shoes. Make sure you're wearing, because these hills will eat your feet for lunch if you don't. Wear your comfortable shoes out here, ladies.
And I think we can just echo that to the men. Anybody coming out here, wear comfortable shoes. If you've got kids, make sure they're in a spot.
I just would say this. How many men don't wear comfortable shoes anyway? I'm uncomfortable at how comfortable men are now.
I wore Birkenstocks out here 1 year, and I was dead set on walking the course with them, and I regretted that.
Yeah, that's...
So again,
any sort of strapping or sandal ends up sad.
Learning and growth.
Yeah.
But for me today, like, this is pretty apex summer sports, because as we've got the first round of the Memorial, you have Guardians and Royals at 1:10 today. They got 5 games up on the Royals. They got rained out last night, so you had a day off from them. One of the hottest teams in baseball. This doesn't get any better for your pal Eric.
Number 3 for me, last night, watched episodes 3 and 4 of Lost with NBC. I had forgotten how great it is. I had also forgotten how damn suspenseful it is. Mm-hmm. My guy didn't even look at a phone for 2 episodes in a row. At one point, I went upstairs to get some nuts, and when I came down, he was like, Dad, you can't ever leave me again. Not during this show. Smoke Monster was around. He doesn't know what any of that stuff is. So the suspense is real.
Yeah, again, very interested, because I think they hit Netflix on July 1.
Yeah, that's going
to see what the numbers for that are. This from a friend of the program, Chris Vanini. If you put Florida State into the Big Ten in the new EA Sports College Football 2025, they'll have Big Ten jersey patches.
Run that by me again?
If you put Florida State, or I guess this would be any team, but I'm interested in your reaction to him putting Florida State specifically in the Big Ten in the dynasty mode of EA Sports College Football 25. They'll have Big Ten jersey patches.
Well, Conspiracy Bo says there's a lot of smoke around that. There's a lot of smoke.
Because I imagine
forever.
If you put Ohio State in the MAC, they would have a MAC patch or whatever.
I don't know.
But Florida State being the example used here by Chris Vanini.
There's a lot of smoke with that stuff after years of there being none. This was a treat, and we'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again. Maddie and AR, they're like the co-mayors of this place with Dom at this point. I mean, who stops you anywhere you go, AR? Nobody. Straight through. That's how he rolls. They're up next. We're back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is a Fan Action Update.
This Action Update is brought to you by Tipico. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Memorial Tournament underway. Coming in, Scotty Scheffler, the big favorite at plus 340. And tonight is the NBA Finals Game 1. Celtics in 5 games is the betting favorite at plus 340. Celtics in 7 is second at plus 350. Boston, a 6.5-point favorite over the Mavs tonight in Game 1. For your Tipico Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Do you know someone struggling to figure out their mental health benefits? The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to help. Find us at insurance.ohio.gov/GETMHIA or call us at 855-438-6442. Don't wait. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office can help you figure out what mental health insurance benefits may be in their plan. Call us today at 855-438-6442.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Here's a summer treat from Giannino's. Get a medium one-topping pizza for only $8. Giannino's Pizzeria in Pickerington and Westerville.
You want a piece of me? Huh?
Some restrictions apply.
The delicious ice-cold taste of Dr. Pepper has a lasting effect on people. Lindsay from Sacramento said,
Pro tip, 40 degrees is the perfect temperature for an ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
why is 40 degrees the perfect temperature for Dr. Pepper? We brought in Sue from Duluth, Minnesota to tell us.
Oh, yeah, I know a thing or two about cold. Oh, that right there is the perfect kind of ice cold for Dr. Pepper. I'd share that with my friend Nancy. She likes Dr. Pepper, too, you know. My cold
All right, that'll be all, Sue. Having a perfect temperature for your Dr. Pepper? It's a pepper thing. Inspired by real fan posts.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply.
Hi, this is Ron Frost with Ohio Mulch, and here's to Ohio Mulch celebrating 40 years of making the community a greener and more beautiful place, one garden at a time. Don't miss out on the opportunities to elevate your outdoor space and to be part of a journey towards the next 40 successful years. Check out our promotions online at ohiomulch.com.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply. Greener, greener, better.
Open your door to a beautiful Nature Stone basement floor. This is Paul Keels for Nature Stone. June only, we're making huge deals for Dad with savings up to 50% off any basement or indoor floor. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-890-0144. 800-890-0144. 800-890-0144.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit Optima.